Yeah, I don't care.
Say it. There you go.
I don't
Now you
care.
say it, Chinny. Chinny, say it.
He's not going to say anything.
I don't care.
Come on.
I don't care.
We got it going on, people.
Okay.
24 hours.
Sorry. Trying to look at the
Recording in progress.
Ready.
Stream. Yeah.
Go,
it's
dude, go,
recording.
go.
Should I start the show?
Go, do it. Do
Can I
it.
play it?
Do
Should we
it.
begin?
Just do
Should we
it.
really get going now? Is it time?
Oh, for God's sake, just do it.
Let's start the motherfucking show, bitch.
See, the problem with my attitude, Stu, is that I don't care. So you can yell at me all you want, but, you know.
I don't care.
Welcome yo to the veteran gamers. Juju, Ginny, other fellas will tell you about every single game that you're playing this week. News, reviews, and an indie pick. Stu's
start it
story
up.
time and Chinny's game breakers. Here comes Duke with the soundbite saviors.
What the hell is wrong with you
Veteran
people?
gamers.
What the hell is
It's
wrong
the
with you
veteran
people?
gamers.
What the hell is wrong with you people?
It's the veteran gamers.
Video games and drugs, those two things don't mix.
Switch that console off before you have to press repeat, yo.
I just fell on my bottom into some butterscotch.
Hello and welcome to episode 753 of the Veteran Gamers Podcast.
Yeah, 659. Welcome, everybody. I'm Duke.
I'm Stu.
Chinny.
And I,
Don't care.
cause it's summertime, bitches. What? Yeah, summertime. The school year is over. Ah,
Wow, is that it? You done? 10 weeks off?
that's it. I'm done. 3
Wow.
months, man. End of August.
3 whole months
But-
off work.
I know that's not the most important news people are waiting for. How was the freaking meetup?
It was good. It was good.
Yeah, it looked good.
There was loads of. I looked fat. I'll say that for nothing. I was like,
Wow, whatever.
Jesus Christ, I need to lose some
You know
more
what?
weight.
That's your ego. That's your body ego, okay?
not my
All that
body
matters is
ego.
you're healthy. It
There's
is.
my
It is. All that matters is
Belly
you're healthy.
wobbling around when I bent over. I was like,
And why does
Jesus
that matter?
Christ. Because it's like, it doesn't look great, does it? You know what I mean?
Ego. It's
It's
your
not
little
ego.
voice in your head going, it
And
is ego. It's totally ego.
It's not
That's what your
healthy.
ego is.
It's not
And you know
healthy
what? Yeah, it's not. It's better to be less bulbous. I
Fat,
agree.
Yeah, less fat.
But it's the ego that wants us to fixate on how we look. And I've been big for a long time. You're not telling me nothing I don't know about, but what can you do about it? You eat better, you exercise, the end.
Yeah, lose weight. That's what I've got to do. Lose some more. I've lost.
Or
I've
fixate
lost
on
a
numbers,
lot.
either way. Me,
But I need to
I'm
lose
eating
more.
cookies today. You know
Nice.
why I'm eating cookies?
I don't care.
Because you don't care. I like that attitude.
All
Just
right.
Don't.
Yeah.
Uh,
Because all during the school year, all I do is care about other people. I care about my colleagues, so I get their mail on my way up into the classroom. I care about my students, so I kill myself trying to leave comments and help them and do all that stuff and answer all the questions. And then, what do I get for it? A lot of beautiful notes to say thank you. Oh my God. Here, look. They wrote in my yearbook. I get a yearbook every year. And then I ask them to
Okay.
write in it, and they write the nicest things. Oh my God, it's so kind. They fill up pages with thank you, you're the best teacher I ever had. Ah. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right.
wow, well, at least you taught them to write. That's a good start.
But look what I have to put at the front page. I don't know if you can see that, but it says, remember, Y-O-U-R is possessive and Y-O-U apostrophe R-E is a contraction of U-R. And then someone always writes, this person wrote, you're the best with the wrong your. And then he wrote, I'm sure you're impressed by how funny and original I am.
I like that. So he knew what he was doing. I like that.
He does. He did. He did.
He knew. What
And
he
I
was
don't think
doing.
anybody actually messed it up. So that's a nice thing.
Well, it's probably because you made sure they didn't.
Yeah, that's right. I'll break your face.
Yeah.
So Chinny, what's going on? Why were you late?
Yeah. Why were you late?
Do I have to say why I'm
Is it
late?
Well, you
baby stuff?
don't. Is it baby
Because,
stuff?
Baby
because
stuff,
what I've been reminded of all weekend by
Yes.
the lads, right,
Yeah.
Yeah.
is
Is that you're always late?
is that I may talk about the baby a bit too much.
Well, you don't do it here too much, in my opinion. I would let you know if I thought you were doing it.
The
too
running
much.
gag
he-
is.
He does definitely talk about the
The
baby
running
too
gag
much.
is. Oh, you've got a baby. You never mention it.
Yeah, Stu's been making that shit for like a month now.
Well, no. Also, let's be honest. It's like he's the only person who's ever had a baby.
I'm not.
But I mean, I don't hear that. I really don't hear that. I know people like that. I really do. But I really don't feel like Chinny's acting like that.
I don't.
I mean,
think
maybe you're hearing things I don't hear.
I don't
Are y'all
think-
have like a private chat on texting?
No, well, it's just a text message, isn't it? That's not a private.
Can
chat.
I just say though, that all being said, I can understand why, because Rosa is very cute. She's very cute.
You've met Rosa now.
I've met Rosa. She's very smiley.
I'll talk about that baby all day if I had a baby like that.
I've held
What do I got?
Rosa.
Goats with fucking eyes going in different directions. I
She
can't
smiled
brag about
at me, which is always a good thing.
Aw.
Yeah.
Yeah, she bounced on my
And
knee.
I saw her face.
Messed with my buttons and just Googled
Aw.
at me and stuff. It
That's
was
adorable.
It was very cute. She ate breakfast with me
It was very
yesterday.
cute.
Yeah.
Chinny shared a
Yeah.
picture. Is he sharing it right now on the stream? Because people deserve to see this picture
Oh no, we're in
of
the
Stu
wrong.
seeing Rosa.
We're in
She's
the
very,
wrong
very
order.
cute.
So I got a picture on
Yeah.
the stream now. It's on my phone. I'm
There
just
you go.
like,
Oh, so cute.
There's Stu and Rosa together.
Yes. And I was like, damn, Stu's hair is getting long. Because I usually don't see different angles and the headphones are on it. So he looks different without the
Yeah.
headphones on.
Yeah. So
As Carl Pilkington once said, you look different with a hat on.
She has a very good baby grow on there, by the way.
did you see the grow that she's got on there, Duke? Sorry, she's got the little.
Oh yeah,
The mug
That's
shots.
Awesome
Got
jumper.
your face
yeah,
on it.
I showed that to Diane, and she was like, "Oh, Rose is so cute." And then I said, "She's wearing the one piece with the three of us on it," and she was like, "Oh my god, that's so cute."
Yeah.
She is very
So,
cute.
Yeah.
Very cute.
And do you know what? I've got to say,
She hadn't been wearing it. Stu would have been like, "Why isn't she wearing it now? God damn it!" She got too big for it. You let it out. Go find a tailor.
Yeah.
Before I went, I've got to say, I said to Millie, "Oh, Chinny says she sleeps really well, and she doesn't make a lot of noise at night." And Millie's like, "Say that." They all say
And?
that, right? And do you know, I slept like a log both nights. Never heard a
Yay!
sick.
Good job, Rosa. They were like
Oh, yeah?
telling her the day before, like, "Listen, if you mess this up with me and Stu, there's gonna be hell to pay. You better be quiet at night."
Well, she does sleep well. The hardest part is putting her to sleep.
Sure.
That's the difficult part. So like trying to get her to sleep, which is a little bit of a clue of why I'm late, because it just it just wasn't happening.
She wasn't going down, and
No.
Tara had tried for a while, and it was your turn.
And Tara's got like 1,000 things that she wants to do before she wants to go to bed, and she wants to go to bed, and she's tired, and so I'm tired, but I'm not allowed to be tired because I'm a man.
We've had some late nights.
And you've got someone
It doesn't-
bugging the shit out of you about how late it is.
It doesn't matter.
Which doesn't help.
It doesn't matter how tired I am, Stu. It doesn't
I know.
matter. I could be awake
Doesn't matter.
for 72 hours straight.
doesn't
I am
matter.
never more
'Cause-
tired than Tara, ever.
Because we had
That's true.
We had a really fun weekend because I went to see Chinny get his award for his highest break.
Yeah, that's right. How'd that go?
That was really cool. And we met.
Yay, show us the award.
I'll have to go downstairs. I've got a picture of it. I've got a picture of it. So
Will
Stu does not want you to
no,
read that shit.
will mean nothing to you, Duke, right? But Joe Johnson was an ex-world champion.
I know Joe Johnson.
Sure you do.
You think I don't know Joe Johnson?
That's my
Oh,
dad.
nice.
That's my dad holding
That's
the
awesome.
award.
Oh,
there.
your dad
And
looks
that-
so cute. I
and
don't think I've
that's-
ever seen your dad before.
That's Stu's shoulder in the background.
Stu just had to get his shoulder in there.
I did. I had to get in the
Photobombing with the
picture.
shoulder.
Yeah. So
Um,
yeah, I had a
Joe
good.
Johnson, he did Stepping Out, right?
No, he
No,
didn't. He won the
different
World
Joe Johnson.
Championship in 1986, and then he came to the
86.
final in 1997. He,
Yes. Oh, yeah, that's right.
he was a very nice man. I had a chat with him.
he was really interesting. He did a
Yeah.
bit of a chat at the beginning. He was quite an interesting guy.
Stu got to meet all my.
Talk about when he turned professional in 1979.
Yeah,
he
no,
did
we
talk
knew
about that actually.
He
yeah,
talked
did.
about that. Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Dude, that's me and Joe. We're like this.
Yeah. And Stu got to meet all my snooker mates.
I did, and we played snooker later.
Yeah. We went back to
Badly.
the
I played very badly.
And did he
when
take
I
you
did
out
it.
in the alley beforehand and go, "Listen, don't fuck this up for me,
No,
God
no.
damn it, you make me look
We
stupid."
played
Should have
doubles.
been the other way.
We played doubles.
No, he was talking to his snooker mates.
and we played doubles, and I had to get bundled with Stu because I tagged him along.
Of course.
And then everybody thought it was
Now,
going to
Ginny,
be.
hang on. No. So hang on a second. Sorry. Now you know how my teammates always feel in Rocket League when they get saddled with me and they have to watch me fumble around and fuck it all up. And then they have the nerve to not forgive me.
I was just going to say, everybody thought I was going to be a ringer. They all thought I was going to come on and just like,
Here
knock
he
a load of
comes.
balls
He's
in,
gonna...
but- Yeah. And I'm like, no, really, I'm not.
If this were 20 years ago, I would have mopped the table with you.
Do you know what the weirdest thing was? It's the first time I've ever played snooker with my glasses, and I'm like, shit, I've got glasses now, and I can't see. So I took them off.
Wait
Got
till
rid
you
of
have to
them.
get a special thing for your Zimmer frame where you put the Q in it. And
Oh,
you
thanks,
just pin
dude.
it like that. You're welcome.
Cheers. May give me a Zimmer frame now. I don't know what the hell is going on. So that happened. and
We're all
then
getting older.
Chidi-
That's what's happening. The body breaks down.
Can I just say, Chidi, I've had a text message off Millie today, and she said,
This sounds like the beginning of a story time.
My favorite time. It's story time. Story
I
time.
mean, we've been doing like story time for 20 minutes. Go ahead.
by the way,
Text
Millie,
message from Millie.
Millie's in Rhodes on holiday, so she's in Greece, right? And
Oh yeah,
she's-
huh? How about that?
And she took the time to send me a message saying, now that Chinny's not with you, why the hell did you drive to London? Now, that's what she
Don't
said.
fucking start with this.
I'm telling you, that's what she said.
Don't. Tell her.
Wait, what?
No, Stu, respectfully, tell her to fuck off.
That's
You know what I
it.
mean?
I missed
And then-
something.
And I said,
So-
I don't know. He'd already made
Stu,
a parking
can
space.
I just talk for a bit without you talking? Is that okay?
Blue Hotline. Hello.
Right.
Look, it's what
I'm trying
Millie
to
said.
reach
Don't
a
blame me
clue.
for this.
Can I
Don't blame me.
can I just talk for a while without you talking? Is that okay? Is that
Will
okay?
it help me understand this situation?
Okay.
So 2 years ago,
Okay.
I went to
Yes.
London to meet Fraser and
Okay.
Neil and Dave.
Gotcha,
Right,
gotcha,
2 years ago,
Gotcha.
I drove down
Right.
to London because I
Yes.
didn't know what time I was going to come back, and I had to
Okay.
drive straight to Manchester after. Anyway, I drove down to London. I parked at Wembley. I got the underground. It was a piece of piss. Right, it was so
Sure.
easy. I flew down the motorway. Easy.
I understand it's very user friendly. The streets of London.
So I thought, well, I'll do that again, right? So I thought, I'll drive down to London. Now, Stu, you may interrupt. What happened when I drove down to London this time?
Yeah. Well, there was two things that went wrong, really.
We
One,
set off
we
late.
just
By the way,
didn't
listeners,
set
hang
off.
on a second. Before you tell this story, let me just explain to the listeners.
No.
We are committed to having a short show tonight.
Yes.
We've all agreed we've got to keep it short because we don't have a lot of time. Sorry for interrupting. Go on.
No, but we have to talk about this, right?
Yeah, we do. We do.
I'm not saying we don't. I'm just
So-
saying there's ways to talk about it that could take 5 minutes
So-
or 30 minutes.
For
So
God's
go on.
sake, we're never going to get through it if you keep
Go,
talking.
Go.
Oh, it's my
So-
it's my fault. Go ahead.
So I got up. I was ready to go at about 20 past 8. So I was sat downstairs, just had to put my shoes on, and off we went. Right. Gee, but we
Good thing
did.
you
We,
added the detail about the shoes because otherwise the story
well,
would
that's
take a
all I
long
had.
time.
That's all
Go
I had
ahead.
to put on. So we were chatting. We did get chatting, so it was partly my fault as well. But we could have just gone.
Okay.
But eventually, we only set off at 10 to 10.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
so it was like, should have set off
We were
earlier. So
chatting.
that
we
was-
had the baby. Tara was there. We
we
were
were-
chatting.
yeah,
I had a bit
Yeah,
of
what are you
toast.
gonna rush through the first meeting of the baby?
And
Exactly.
also, I
Exactly.
misunderstood the arrangement. I thought we were meeting,
I did
meeting
too.
at 12, and then they were going for drinks. I'm sure I heard Neil say this, but I'm happy to admit that I'm wrong. That I'm sure I heard him say, we're meeting at 12, we're going to have some drinks, and then we're going to have a curry, which is kind of what they did. But I didn't realise that they were going to basically have a curry bang on at 12, like
Yeah, and
pretty
then
much.
go for drinks.
Yeah, and then. So I I thought, oh, okay, if we set off a bit late, it's not going to be the end of the world. We're probably going to catch them.
Yeah.
And then what happened was 2 crashes on the motorway, which was
Oh, no.
like we set off for an hour, and
jeez.
the time that we started with was shorter than an hour later. Like it was longer.
Yeah, it
than
was.
Wow.
Yeah,
you
it
know,
was. It was longer an
was
hour later, wasn't
ridiculous.
it?
Crazy.
And then we got past that one. Then there's another crash,
Yeah.
and it was just,
Oof.
and then we were in London. It was taking like 30 minutes to go 5 miles.
Yeah, it did.
It was
That's
ridiculous.
It was-
crazy. I see that happen the other way when I'm going to work sometimes. Like I live in the opposite direction that most people go into the city. So there's sometimes just these streams of cars, and I'm just like, oh no, I'm so sorry, y'all. Like go
Yeah.
another way if you can.
And then so I've had 2 hours of Stu going why didn't we just catch the train? so when I got to the pub,
well, hey, at least you have a train to catch in your.
But also, no, we should also say, right, we arrived at 1:30 in Wembley, so it was like, oh, it's only 40 minutes later than we thought it'd be. 40, 50 minutes could have been worse.
Yeah. And there's communication problems. There was stalls. There was cute baby. There were crashes on the roadway. Just a lot of stuff happened.
And we underestimated how long it would take to get from Wembley to Worthy, where it took an hour. Yeah. So we only arrived at 1:30.
London's a big town, man.
Yeah.
2:30. So since you mentioned Curry, though, by the way, I was playing Rocket League today with somebody whose username was Curry Muncher. And I thought, okay, that's obviously offensive. And then I thought, well, is it? Maybe someone's using it because they actually non-ironically love curry and they're using the insulting form as a way to reclaim it. I don't know.
I don't think that's insulting. That's something like me saying I'm a cheeseburger muncher.
Or a Chinese muncher.
But a curry is specifically connected to... so Chinese muncher could be a little bit.
How is that?
No, because the word Chinese
I'm not saying it is automatic.
The person and the food.
Yeah, but if it's directly
whereas curry
yourself, because he's like curry, and you
right? So you could say lo mein muncher or something.
Well, and it's not muncher. Is that offensive to people from Lancashire?
Exactly. No. I'm not saying it is. I'm just saying, like, if I was full of hate and I was going to get blocked on Rocket League if I actually called my username what I would like to call it, which is Nazi, kill Jews 666.
That's slightly different. Just saying.
I know. I'm saying if I know I can't use that name, so what name could I use that So I'm just on the lookout for Nazis in my social media feed. Whatever. I'm overthinking it. It's okay.
You are definitely overthinking that.
We're going to move that.
Okay. I do that a lot. You know what? However.
So we get to London. We see...
oh, God, the story's not over yet.
Yeah, we see... So there was the Seal podcast were there.
Yeah. I don't know who's who, so I see these pictures and I'm
Dave,
just like...
Fraser.
Okay, I know that's Fraser.
Yeah. So there's Fraser, Carl Adams, who we haven't seen for a long time.
I love Carl. Nice lad, Carl.
Andy Cox, Pilch was there. Neil, Mark.
Yeah, I recognize Pilch and Andy.
Mark Singh or MS Ranger, who's written into the show and been on the show.
Oh, nice.
And Dave as well, who's a host on the Seal podcast. So it was good to see everybody. It was really good. And
Robin wasn't there, was he?
Bongo wasn't there, and I was gonna.
I thought I kept seeing people in pictures. I was like, "That's not Bongo."
No. And I was gonna.
That's me being racist toward Irish people. I guess.
Yeah, it's true. They're all ginger but like I was gonna text him. I was gonna text him today saying you were missed because we talked about Bongo a lot, didn't we?
We did.
Yeah, we did.
You're not gonna have a gathering and not talk about Bongo.
Yeah, exactly. So, and we played mini golf. They drank a lot.
Nice.
Me and Stu had to go.
I saw the mini golf in the video. Yeah.
Me and Stu.
Can I say came third? I came third in the mini golf.
All right.
I did all right.
We went with me and Stu had to go to like some sort of food market to get some food because we missed out on the curry.
Yeah. No, that's where we went is a really famous place. It's called Borough Market, and it's like in this really old building. It was really cool.
I've never heard of it. Can't be that famous.
It is.
It's underneath London Bridge.
I've never heard of it.
Pretty famous,
yeah.
But,
all right.
But
not only have I never heard of it.
We understand that is your energy today.
Yeah, your new sound bite. Jesus Christ.
It does match my energy, to be honest.
I have the whole song queued up if you want me to play it. I can let you know where it comes from because it's a really cool rap song from the 80s.
Yeah. I just muted you. Because whenever you play music...
Great! You know what I think about that?
So yeah, and then we played a bit of mini golf and then a bit more drinking for them, and then we just walked around. That was pretty much it. That was like 6 hours, wasn't it?
It was 6 hours done, and then it was like, gotta get home. But home, it was that smooth.
Oh, 2 hours, like 2 hours, 10
hours.
But I said to Stu, the drive home was like the drive there for me the last time I did that. It was just bam, done. And I've driven to London many times for work, and it's not been that bad. And it's just...
It was just a bit of a shame, I think, because it was just so long getting there. Yeah. By the way,
so we had fun.
Just to finish out, this is what Millie's summarization was. Idiot. That's referring to you, Mike.
Yeah.
Him, not you. And then what a noodle. So there you go.
Damn, Millie's got some harsh words for you.
Oh yeah, she is harsh.
Where's the response? Where's the retort? Where's the riposte?
Play your sound clip.
You are.
The
No, the other one.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, okay. I didn't know which one you meant.
It could be Yui Ball, to be fair.
Stop
This could
looking
be
for
Yui
another
Ball.
one.
No,
Stop trying to.
Break my foot off in your ass!
Stop trying to.
That's the response.
Stop trying to be
works.
clever. Just
That
play the one
works.
you've been playing all bloody day.
Is it a joke? Yeah. That's pretty good.
I can just keep going if you want, or I
think
can
that
tell
all
my
fits.
story
I
time.
think it all fits. Go. For God's sake, go.
Okay, I'm gonna tell my story.
It was a great weekend, by the way. Great weekend.
It sounded like a great weekend. Looked like a great weekend. Thank you for making that video. I felt like I was there for about 45 seconds.
By the way, and I did just say this was terrible, but massive thanks for Chini for putting me up and everything and putting up with me.
Yeah.
I guess putting up
I
with
put
me.
him up for
That's
two. I
right.
put him up for 2 nights. I drove him there, drove him
You
back,
did. Yeah.
and this is the
Yes.
abuse I get.
This is the bollocking that he gets. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Oh, it was
So I
Millie.
don't have anything
Nothing
to.
to do with me. Nothing to do with me.
I don't have anything to say about the end of the school year because it was bonkers and I already said it. But I've been wanting to get a pair of flip-flops for a while, you know, like some sandals I could just wear when I need to just put something on my feet, but it's summer
Okay.
and I don't want to wear slippers, right? Okay, got it.
Yep,
We
yep.
went to a place called Farm and Fleet. The Duchess got stuff for her farm. I got a pair of flip-flops and I bought them at the register, and then we get them home and I go, oh crap, they didn't take the anti-theft thing off of it.
Oh.
And I don't want to walk around with this anti-theft, and it didn't go off when we left the building. So obviously these are bullshit anti-theft things. And now I got to go back. Where's the receipt? And she goes, I just tore it up and threw it away.
Can you not just cut it off? What is it?
If they could just cut them off, they wouldn't be very good
Is it-
shoplifting things.
Is it
It's
a
like
mag-
a bolted on digital thing. It's this. You don't know what an anti-shoplifting thing is? Do y'all
It's
not
not
have
even-
shoplifting over there?
Well, we'll do, but they're like usually magnetic or something, so you just get a big magnet,
Magnetic?
I guess.
Why don't people just
Ah.
take them off? This is.
They do.
It says,
People
please do
do
not
that.
remove the anti-theft device. Well, then they need to get anti-theft devices. They can't just
You
be
don't get it
taken
off with a
because they're
hacksaw?
magnets.
What about a hacksaw?
I'm not taking a hacksaw to my new flip-flops. What the fuck? Is that your answer to everything?
Yeah,
my
get a
computer
hacksaw.
parts won't fit together. Give me the hacksaw.
Get a
Huh,
hack-
this tag won't come off my flip-flops. Give me the hacksaw.
Now-
Oh, you got an eyelash in your foot, Millie? Give me my hacksaw.
Now then, let me ask you a question.
You fucking psychopath. Anyway,
Let me
tell
know.
my go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, how did you pay?
Short show, kids. Short show.
How did you pay for them? How did you pay? By card or did you pay by cash?
Yes, we pay with a card.
Well, you've got evidence that you've paid for them, regardless of the fact you haven't got your
I have
receipt.
evidence anyway.
You
Let
said
me
you
finish
didn't have
the
your
story.
receipt.
Jesus
All right,
fucking
go on, carry on then. Sorry.
Duchess, did you really just rip up the receipt and throw it away? Yes, I'm sorry. I didn't think you needed it. I didn't think I needed it either. Where is it? It's in there. That's right, motherfuckers. I went and got the pieces of the
Oh,
receipt
God.
out and I
Sellotape.
taped it back together. What now?
I see what you did. Well,
And
that's fine.
then-
That looks pretty good.
Yeah, it'll work. I just don't want to have to go back to the store. Like it's like a 30-minute, 20-minute.
Oh,
drive. Anyway,
my time is so precious. You've got time to sellotape a fucking receipt together.
I know, yeah, exactly. Chini wouldn't have time
And
to put
you know
one
what?
piece of it.
All the
in.
time it's gonna take. Also, we went to an Italian grocery and they had some French cookies. So I bought these French butter cookies that are sea salt caramel flavored. They're good. The French know how to make some cookies, man. Mwah. Très bien. Merci beaucoup. Vive la France.
Made in Tennessee, probably.
Yeah, it's probably made in
Tennessee,
China.
right? Made in, yeah. Contains 99% non-bug parts.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Of course, that's also France. I mean, they put snails in it and shit. All right, let's move
Oh,
on.
that-
Is it time
whoa,
to talk
whoa,
about some
whoa.
video games?
If we're
Why,
talking
they eat
about
snails in France.
talking about being racist, Jesus Christ. You're going to be saying
You
those-
tell me they don't eat snails.
Yeah, but
You're gonna be saying
Stu.
they've had
That's not
frog
racist.
legs.
Why is that racist?
Come on now in a minute. I don't know.
Yeah, but
Jeez.
Stu,
What?
it's French people. No one cares about French people.
It's French people, exactly. Qui donne une merde? All right, let's
Honestly.
talk about some video games, shall we?
What you been playing?
Where are you going? Story time's over, isn't it? What you been playing?
Do you know, I think we might have just lost our one French listener there. Okay. Well,
Ça m'est égal. There
Yeah.
you go. That's how you say I don't care in
anyway,
France.
I'm going to kick this off because I finished a game this week. Finito, the game, finito, finished. Which was Hellblade 2 Senua's Saga. So
yeah.
I got that game finished. It took me probably about 6 hours to finish the game from start to finish. It is a short game, although it does this incredible thing of being a short game that feels like it takes a long time.
Well, yeah, I mean, 6 hours, as you said last week, is 2 of the Lord of the Rings movies.
It is, but it's
nothing to sneeze at.
I think the fact that you move so slowly in the game makes it feel like it lasted a lot longer than 6 hours. It's a
absolutely.
It's a weird
covering the same distance in Skyrim would be a piece of piss.
Yeah. That'd take like that. You'd barely have done anything in Skyrim in 6 hours.
In Forza, it'd be even easier.
Exactly.
But yes, she moves very slowly in the game, and I think that part of that is so you can look at how great everything looks. You know what I mean? That's part of this.
Sorry, I hate to interrupt, but Return to Return to Grace. That game slowed you down, so you had to look at stuff. But I didn't mind that. I mind that. This isn't pleasant to look at. What the fuck? Oh, this black coal-covered field is a little less bleak than that black coal-covered field.
It kind of is a little bit grim, and that's
what is there to look like? What is there to look at?
And yeah, I got to the very last chapter of the game, and do you know what? I'm guessing it wouldn't matter if I even spoiled this game for anyone because.
Doesn't matter to me, but hang on a second. Chinny, would it matter to you? Do you want to avoid spoilers on this?
Play your sound clip, please.
I don't care.
Go ahead, Stu. Let her rip.
Yeah, because the
well, let me give the listener a warning. Sorry. Spoilers for Senua's Saga.
Warning!
Skip ahead 10 minutes if you don't want spoilers. Go ahead.
Because everybody who played this game, right, on Xbox, they did an analysis of this. And only 13% of the people who started the game have actually finished it. So
isn't that true for most games?
Well, yeah, but this is 6 hours. It's not even like it's a massive time investment. But this is where it gets even worse. This gets even worse, right?
Yeah.
40% of or was it 60%? 60% of players stopped playing after the first half an hour. They didn't even get as far as the first boss fight.
Damn, that's not a good metric to use.
No, it isn't.
You don't want that on your game, and it's crazy that they know that.
Yeah, well, they measured it by the achievements. So, what achievements people?
Well, of course. I'm just saying, it's kind of bizarre. We're being monitored in terms of how much you've done.
Yeah. So, yeah, true achievements. This was on, by the way. It's kind of a bit of a wow, isn't it? And it does look. I mean, I can't bang on about how great this game looks, but it's not enough. It's just not enough. It's
so sorry, I had to interrupt, but like, take me through this. Like, the first game was similarly kind of bleak, right? Like, what's different about the first game compared to this one?
I don't know. I just feel like the first game was kind of more engaging somehow, and I think the other problem with this is that in the first game there was variety in the levels that you played, so they did look different to each other.
Right.
Whereas I think this game there is some variety, but it's not a lot different. Everything looks kind of the same bleak.
I mean, were there more activities in the first one? Because I know in this one, the main thing is like walking around, stumbling around, combat, and then those little line them up puzzles.
Not really, no. It was the same sort of things. There was the line them up puzzles. There was the same sort of combat. I just feel like I just feel like the first game was more varied. I think this is just more.
I mean, the variation makes sense. I'm sorry, I keep cutting you off. Go ahead.
No, that's fine. No, you ask away.
Like, the variation is a good thing. Like, I wonder if the novelty of it made the first one feel more engaging.
Fresh. Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I think because this is more of the same, and it is more cinematic. Yeah. But I said this to Chinny. The issue is, even though it looks amazing, the first, I mean, you got as far as the first boss fight, didn't you, with the slaver?
Yeah, I did.
And it looks
there's a spider, I gotta get it.
It looks kind of impressive, doesn't it? The animations look really cool, and it's really cinematic, but every fight is like that. So you get into this scenario where you're seeing those same canned animations, even though they look amazing, you're seeing those same animations over and over, and every fight is the same. So every fight involves you know, the same type of enemies.
Right.
It involves the
Right.
same type of defensive
Right.
moves. There's no
Right.
there's no
Right.
depth in the combat at all. There's no
Because I was thinking about like a game that looks gorgeous where it's kind of the same thing over and over again. Wasn't that Death Stranding? And then it's like, okay, but there's a big interesting story around that. So it felt the gameplay felt very dull in Death Stranding, but I have to admit that the story and a lot of the visual stuff that happens in that game is bonkers.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. Whereas this game is so limited in scope, and that sounds really weird
Yeah.
saying that when it looks so amazing, but it's really.
So
really
where's the spoilers?
narrow.
You said there were
Oh, yeah, I
spoilers
haven't got
ahead.
to that.
Like she's going to go after the head slaver and like eradicate slavery from this island or something, right? Does she achieve that goal?
That's exactly what the ending is. That's it. That's all that happens. It's a very odd ending because you get there and the big like boss dude has got all these sacrifices on crucifixes waiting for the giant to come and eat them. So a lot of the boss fights involve these massive giants, which again in scale look impressive, but the actual gameplay to beat those bosses is just really basic. It's really basic.
I got you.
I'd love to give this game a massive like thumbs up and like seal of approval and say it's it's one of the best games I've played so far this year, but it just isn't. It just isn't. And I'm kind of sad to say that. I really am. And
you wanted to like this game a lot because you loved the first one.
I wanted to
and
love
you really
this
wanted
game.
to like this.
I wanted to love it.
I can't remember the game
and,
I felt like that about, but I know the feeling.
And I think some of it is just a disappointment in not. I mean, I played it to the end, and at least I can say I finished it. And I did kind of enjoy it. I'm not going to turn around and say, oh, God, it's the worst thing I've ever played, because it isn't. But it's just very average. And I think that's the problem. It isn't in presentation and voice acting and all that stuff. It's not average at all. But
is it?
It feels average, even though it shouldn't. And I think that's what's the weird juxtaposition with this.
Do you think that is it top 5 of the year? Would you say?
I don't even know whether it's going to make that. I'll be totally honest. I don't think
top 10.
I think if I was just basing it on presentation and looks alone, it would probably be number 1, possibly. But
But
as a package, it just isn't. I don't know. I'd find it very difficult. I think when I get to the end of the year.
I got you.
So at the end, you basically fight the dude like you fought every other enemy in the game, beat him, and that's kind of it. I mean, the story beats are pretty good. I did like the sort of stuff that happened at the end, regarding the story, and I thought that was kind of cool. But it just wasn't enough. I think that's the byline with this game. It's just not enough. Not enough.
Comes up short. That's a shame.
And the only thing I would say about this, and I said this to Chinny, is like, I just think that this is a good start for Unreal Engine 5 games, and there's going to be better stuff in the pipeline, I would imagine, from other developers. So it does show what this engine's capable of doing and running on a Series S, because let's be honest, it's not the most powerful console in the world, but it did a pretty good job of showcasing these graphics and making it, how great this thing looks. So there is that. So I think that's the positive I'm taking from this. That is, although this fell short, I'm guessing other great and better stuff will come along in the future. So there you go. Right. Duke, over to you.
So there have been the last week of school is crazy, but that's not. I don't need to get into that. I just wanted to add something here. Okay. There's the thing that I am going to add. Sorry, I meant to do that beforehand.
Yeah, we're hearing a lot of typing. Just saying.
I know. My bad. Okay, so I've been playing Rocket League, and Rocket League is so much fun. It's filled with sour children, but there's nothing new to say about that. Minecraft, I've been building on the Lilac server. Woo! Fishing contests. They happen like every hour. It's very interesting, and there are these chat games that I mentioned I was looking for in a Minecraft server. And so every once in a while it'll be like, unscramble this and you could win some money or whatever. And it's weird how eager I am to win those, because it's a lot to do with typing quickly, right? Sometimes it'll just say, type this phrase. And I'm like, I'm a good typer. But these people on the server, man, they must be like, they must have a timer going when it's about to be a quiz in the chat, because they're ready. They've typed it in like faster than a human could if they had to stop what they were doing, making Minecraft stuff, and then type something on the keyboard. So They're cheating. I can't prove it, but I know it's the case. So anyway, that's Minecraft. Skyrim. I'm doing something I've never done in Skyrim right now.
Delete it.
Can't imagine
Delete
there's
it.
anything you've never
No,
done.
not deleting it. Playing as a Redguard. I've actually never played as a Redguard. The folks who come from Morrowind. And I don't know, it felt, you know what, this is weird to say, but it's true. It kind of felt weird for me to play as like a black man in Skyrim because I'm a white dude. And it felt like maybe it would be some sort of, appropriation of some. I don't know. I'm overthinking it again.
What is the difference between that and playing as a girl? You play as a girl.
Exactly. There really
is
isn't
that appropriation?
one. Exactly not. It's totally not. So it's
me
being
lizard?
ridiculous.
Are you appropriating a lizard?
I am. I'm appropriate. How could you take the beautiful culture of lizard Americans and use it for your own good?
You go way too deep in this stuff, dude. You really
Well, that's the
do.
thing. I'm trying to tell myself to not care so much. So whatever. Okay. So that's Skyrim. There's nothing to say about it. Convenient Horses is not very convenient right now, but I'll get it sorted. That's okay. Meanwhile, there's an actual thing that's new that I've been playing. It's called No Man's Sky.
Okay. You've not played this for a while, though, to be fair.
I haven't played this for a while, and they just did a new update, but there were other updates that I had missed that really made me want to try it again. The core game is obviously not changed, right? But they keep tweaking everything. So, for instance, you played maybe back in the day when they put, there were like star systems, right? And then in those star systems, there were space stations, right? And so you land in the space stations, and they're all dime a dozen. They all look exactly the same, right? Because they're procedurally generated. Well, what they've done is they have changed them so that they are now still procedurally generated, but they're going to be different in the different systems, right? So there's the Gex, and there's the robot people, and then there's the Vaikun warriors. And so they look different, and you can customize and mess with parts of your ship now. It used to just be find a better ship, buy a better ship, salvage stuff, and then you can get money, and then you buy a better ship. And it was just, you could either take it or leave it for each ship. Now they've made modular designs, and you can adjust what's in your stuff. And they have this update called Adrift, which is like not multiplayer. It's like, and there's no life of any kind. And I haven't touched it, but it's this kind of whole new way to play the game. And it's just, I don't know. It just seems it's really impressive how much they keep tweaking this game. And I can't imagine it's bringing them a whole lot of sales. You know what I mean? Like, it feels like after what, 2 years, 3 years?
Oh, it's longer than that, I think.
After so many years of just constantly updating the game, I can't imagine that people are going to be like, oh, now I'm going to get it now that they've got this new update. You know what I mean? Like, I just think they're building a lot of goodwill. And
yeah, but do you not think part of that's just
for free?
Enhancing it for the people who are still playing, though, rather than just
but it's also, I mean,
players.
It's a capitalist. The company exists to make money, and
to an extent, I guess.
To an extent, come on, go to a shareholders meeting and say, look, we got some money, but mostly what we do is we made a lot of losers happy who play our game.
No, I don't think No Man's Sky has ever been like that because they've given pretty much everything away for free.
Oh no,
so
I
they've
agree.
never been massive capitalists. I think they've just been trying to improve it constantly.
They answer to capitalists. I mean, let's not kid ourselves. If
No,
a video
no,
game,
I don't
especially
disagree with
today,
that.
if a game company, game companies launch blockbusters and still get shut down because they don't meet the
They do. But let's be honest,
earnings or whatever.
If that was the case, this game would have been shut down 5 years ago.
Yeah, well, that's true. Right. So what I'm saying, though, is that, like, they've redeemed themselves in the eyes of the gaming community and investors. And now it's like, why do you need to keep updating? You've already
I think it's just a tweet.
Yourself to
well,
everything.
they may just be perfectionists. They just want to give the best experience.
That's fair. Yeah, sure. And I appreciate it. Don't get me wrong. I think it's a beautiful example of a bunch of people who promised too much before it came out and then got rightly shat on and then said, they could have said, like, okay, fine, we'll just close the studio. Or like, we did our best and try to say, take the EA route. And it's like, we don't care what you think. And now you got to pay for, stars or whatever. But instead they said, like, look, we're going to keep working on this and fix the worst problems and give people a buttload of new content. And so they have, and I really appreciate that. Even though the core gameplay hasn't changed much, it's still fun. And it's another example of, as I said last week, start it up and let's start over.
Because they are working on a new game, so they are busily working on a
Yes,
new
they
game.
are. They
So-
talked about something in an update, and I'm like, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, so what's probably happening? There's probably 2 or 3 people left just doing stuff for this. They're just saying, "Oh yeah, you know, if you think of anything, just."
It is a
throw
lot
that out."
more work than just 2 or 3 people. These updates are.
It's just a
I mean,
couple
they
of
tend to be
guys.
revolutionary.
couple of guys
Yeah.
Just a
pressing
couple of
Copying and
guys
pasting
going,
stuff.
yo, Steve, shall we just
Yeah.
make some today? Because I'm sick of just
I got it.
smoking.
Yeah, I know what we
weed.
can do, man. I got it, bruv. Check this out. Here's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna let you know all the aliens and stuff in the No Man's Sky universe. What if they weren't there?
Yeah.
Mic drop.
Because
Exactly.
I'm sick of
That's the
playing.
drift update.
I'm sick of playing table tennis, to be honest.
We can play foos. Oh no, man!
But no,
Jason broke
I-
the foosball table. Damn.
I actually admire them for keeping doing stuff like this.
Of course.
and
Oh yeah.
keeping
Oh, it's
updating it.
very awesome and so different from most video game companies. I hope it brings them a lot of success.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you this: even if it doesn't, you know, if the next game's a flop, at least people are going to not judge it as quickly as it comes. You know what I mean? Like the fact that there's so much judgment the minute a game drops. And this game shows that if you're patient, sometimes companies can fix them.
Yeah, like
But
like
it
the
also sends a
game,
bad precedent that
like the game Evolve.
Yeah, they just kept on updating that
they
until
kept making it better,
people liked it.
and which made sense because you know they didn't want to not let the game evolve.
Yeah.
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 You know, that's
Anyway,
anyway. No Man's Sky, still fun. Play it. Woo.
there you go. Chitty, what
It's
have
ridiculous.
you-
Sorry, it's ridiculous. I should be playing Starfield because I still haven't finished that. But I decided I want to start playing this outer space adventure game instead.
You fool.
That's pretty ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah, you are. You're a fool.
But
Chinny,
you know what?
Hello.
what have you got for us?
I play more Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Woo, Breath of the Wild.
So I'm assuming you're playing this solely handheld on the little screen, or have you got it rigged up to the TV?
I've got it at work, and I've got it on
right.
a computer monitor at TV.
All right, so you are playing it via
Yeah.
a proper
I
screen.
bought a Pro controller for my Switch
Ooh.
because I have to say the you know when you unclip the controllers on the Switch
Yeah.
and you
Yeah.
put them in that little joystick
Slotty
thing
Yeah.
to make a little makeshift joy. I fucking hate that thing.
I
hate
didn't
it.
mind it.
Is
I must
it
admit, I
a
never
problem with
minded it.
playing it, Chinny, or do you just feel like you don't look like a man playing with
It's
that?
partly that, to be fair, but like Stu's only got little hands. You see, all right.
I do only have little hands.
No,
it's
it's true.
true.
It's
It's
true.
totally true. I do only
It's
have
true.
little hands.
No, I've
Okay, I
it
didn't
was
realize
something
that
that
Shinny's
it was
hands are
something
significantly larger
I
than
haven't seen
Stu's.
Stu for 5 years until this weekend, and I realised I was
As
like,
soon as you saw him, you're like, God
was
damn,
like-
look at those little ass hands.
God, he's got little
yeah,
hands.
he's got little hands.
got little
right?
hands.
You know, you forget
It's
these
true,
little
I have
things.
got little
He
hands.
has.
But see, I don't
So-
think I even noticed that when we met up.
Did you
I have
not?
little
Did you not?
hands.
It never crossed my
I don't
mind.
know,
He's
I
got
do-
little hands.
I do have little. Look, I've got
He does-
little
he
hands,
does have
right?
little hands.
But that
And
doesn't say much just holding them up to the camera.
You know what?
Well,
And the
they are
reason
pretty small.
Put
they
a
are pretty
ruler
small.
against your.
it's perspective, Stu. Like
Look,
they
here
all
we
look
go.
big
Look,
if you do.
look, look, it's the same
I
length
can
as my
look,
phone.
I'll show you
nearly.
something
Look,
that's
look,
supposed to
look.
be big.
Oh Jesus!
Oh God! No one
I was
wants
going
to
to
see
show you
that.
my ass.
Nobody
My
wants
big
to see
floppy
that.
ass.
Anyway, where did we get to that?
I
Right.
have
Stu
no
has
idea.
little
No,
hands,
so-
and you don't want to play with a regular
hands.
So, yeah, so
Switch controller because
because-
you don't want to be unseen as unmanly.
I have large hands, right?
Yeah,
have
I need
long
a
hands.
big breakfast.
Because I'm a huge bloke, right?
Honey comes
I,
big. Yeah.
I just struggle with that controller.
Yeah,
so
so
I
you wanted a
bought-
real controller. I got you.
I
So
bought-
what's this Pro thing? What does it
it's-
look like?
It's the official Nintendo controller, right? That they've released.
Okay.
It's basically a 360 controller. It's the same.
Yeah,
thing,
I've
right?
seen it.
It's
I've
the same
seen
thing.
it.
Gotcha.
Feels
Yeah,
good.
Maybe if we had a video stream, we could put one on it, but whatever.
I've got to be careful about that because if I put other
Yeah.
videos on that aren't
Oh, did we
gameplay-
get struck?
Yeah, honestly,
Yeah.
honestly, yeah.
Ah.
Yeah,
Because
struck
once,
for
Not even a
everything.
picture, like a still?
no, once
I'll look it up
once-
myself.
Once I put a video of like Gloomhaven, somebody playing Gloomhaven,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I
that's
remember
right.
that.
and I got took down. They saw it and was like, "No, take it down." So yeah. Anyway, so I've got the Pro controller.
Okay, so I'm looking at it now. It looks exactly like
a
an Xbox
360.
360
Yeah.
controller. Yes.
And it's good. It feels good. It's got a good weight to it, you know. So if I feel better
Yeah.
playing it like that.
Yeah, sure.
And I
You're
don't-
used to playing it like that. You're
I
used to
don't-
playing games with a real
good
you know,
controller.
yeah.
I don't really
Right,
like
right.
playing my Switch handheld. I don't really get on with it, but so I'm playing it like
I didn't
that.
get along with it when I had it for 2 days.
Very pleased with the controller, and I'm getting a little bit further in Zelda. There's not much more to say about the actual game. I need to get to a point where I've got a lot of cold resistance, heat resistance, because where I'm at now is I've got to venture into those more dangerous
Isn't it chilies?
areas.
You just get the chilies, don't you, from and cook them up, the chili plants.
You get chilies to cook them up, and also you can hold a torch, and the torch will heat you up as well. But I haven't really prepared. I need to prepare for an adventure.
And
basically.
you can make. I think can you make warm clothing, or you can acquire warm clothing?
You can't make it. I think you have to buy it. But
I think you have to. I think
I'm going to do a bit of googling.
It's a long time since I've played.
I'm going to do a bit of googling and go right. Best recipes for cold resistance. Best clothes for being out in the cold. Where do I buy them? All that shit. And I'm going to venture out to the cold. So that's not much else to say. But I am cracking on with it. It's a little bit every day at work.
Skyrim, you can go in the cold anytime you want. It doesn't matter in Skyrim. I mean, if you have the mod, okay, you can make it matter.
It's not realistic then, is it?
It's not realistic.
Oh, really? We're looking for realism in our open world, massive role-playing games with the swords and the iPads?
You got to take it with a pinch of salt, but there's realism aspects into a fantasy game, you know.
Yes, right, which is what all of it is. So the idea that you can travel without getting frostbite.
I'm waiting for I'm waiting for an
non-realism.
adventure sort of RPG game where you got to take a shit, you know. Like, I've gotta
What
take
about
a
any
shit.
video game where you have to use the bathroom? Like that
Yeah.
you never. I mean, you can in some games.
Duke Nukem, you do.
One of the ones we played. But do you have to? No, you. I think that's
No.
where you save, right?
The Sims, you do. Don't you?
It is where you say. I was just about to
It's
say
not
that.
you doing it. You don't do things in The Sims. You get your people to do things.
You
I'm
are
talking
God.
about Call of Duty every half hour. Oh shit! I gotta take a shit.
You gotta take a piss.
That would be.
I'll tell you
that would
what.
be something.
You're in trouble if you have to take a shit every half an hour.
You're in
Yeah.
trouble.
Yeah.
There probably is a mod for that on Skyrim.
Anyway, that's enough of Breath of the Wild. I'm still
But yeah,
playing.
no more. Can we just
Yes.
say no? And you did vaguely, but no more heroes. You take a shit quite often in
That's
that game.
true. That was.
But that's the same.
But that wasn't that to save?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's
the
to
same.
save the game.
It
That's
is to save. Yeah, it is.
I want mandatory shitting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Short
Uh,
show. Short show,
oh, no.
everyone. Short show.
That's right.
Let's talk about because I've only got the Uncharted 4 and Tiny Glade to talk about. So shall we do
Well, all
Tiny
right.
Glade? Shall
Tiny
we do
Glade.
that?
Let's
Yes.
do Tiny Glade.
Tiny
Let's
Glade.
do Tiny Glade.
Yeah, bitch! Guard your ears!
Play my game. Play my game, bitch. Get it back.
This game, I am done.
So yeah, Tiny Glade is
Yeah, art game. Done.
Yeah.
Moving on.
What? Best
I'm just kidding.
best way to describe this game is build a fairy tale castle, and that's it. But it's just like
With a
chill.
paintbrush.
With a paint, yeah. It's just like
You're using a paintbrush to build a fairy town. It's an interesting genre of game that didn't exist 10 years ago, right? The art game.
Yeah.
Like there's a whole series of games kind of like this. The Townscaper was one, right? Like that's
Yeah,
the basic idea. is
Townscaper, I
you
like
just
that.
and it's interesting to see the way it evolves because it has to, right? Like nobody's going to buy a game if you just decide where you put the towers. So what this game does differently is, like I said, it's with a paintbrush. Like you draw a path through a wall and suddenly you get this arch that's got ivy on it and like this beautiful path going through it.
Yeah, I quite like this. If you just want something just to chill, and you really don't have to think about it. The only disappointing thing I found with the demo is it's such a small area, and I'm guessing when you get the main game, it's going to be massive. But
yeah, right.
I wish it had just given you a little bit more room to mess
Well,
around.
I mean, they gave me just enough to go, all right, I'll put that on my wish list and get it when it's real cheap.
Because
like,
I do.
It's
Go on.
Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I really do
No.
think that when you have the whole game, you'll be able to build like a little town or a little village and stuff.
Oh, totally. And so many options, I expect. Like, this game limits you to like 5 things. And as soon as you go into the woods around this little area, it says demo. Like, it just becomes gray stripes saying demo. Which is brilliant because you can see how fun it would be to have so much open space and all this freedom to make things and do them. You know, look, this is to art what Rock Band is to music, right? I don't play the guitar. I'm never going to learn how to play the guitar unless I, set my mind to it. and I'm not going to. But I could still play Rock Band and have a lot of fun rocking out to games. You can play this and make a little village, and the footage, you know, the images they have on the release, you know, looking at the whole game, it's like amazingly impressive. You can set the time of day. The graphics are gorgeous.
Yeah, and there's little sheep wandering around, and there's like stuff doing.
I didn't
stuff.
like the sheep.
Really? Why not?
Didn't like the sheep.
No, they
What's
were
wrong with the sheep?
they were suspicious.
They just do whatever they're told. You don't have to worry about them.
I mean, even what we're watching here, this dude making this,
They
it's
got
just,
sheeple.
it's so intuitive, isn't it? Just to do stuff. It's really easy. There's nothing complicated about, and it actually promotes experimentation just to try and it says it being like you said.
It does. I mean,
draw a line through a building.
The biggest problem for me, the biggest problem for me is the same with Townscaper. Like, I think I would get bored with Townscaper after about half an hour, maybe an hour. And I don't know that this game would keep me entertained for longer than that. If they just figured out how to combine this a little bit with something like, you know, Manor Lords.
Oh yeah. So if this was in
That
Manor
would
Lords,
be ill.
fucking game.
But that's going to happen at some point, right? What we do now is we take genres and we smush them together, right? We had our Call of Duty games, and then we had, what was the first Battle Royale? But, you know, like, there must have been something before PUBG, right? And then we just smushed them together and we got PUBG.
It was a sort of a Minecraft mod, I think, was the.
Yeah, there you go. These things start off as I mean, Factorio started off as a mod for Minecraft, right? So, yeah, I just feel like that's going to be the next step, is them figuring out something to do with these places you build.
The only thing I would say with this this is way more complex than Townscaper. Because in Townscape, you just clicked on stuff and it just developed from there. You didn't really have to plan or do anything. It would just evolve as you kept clicking. Whereas this, you do have to, you can actually build stuff to, I mean, this guy's doing stuff I hadn't even thought of. He's putting towers inside towers to get extra bits of little roof sticking out. And I'm like, I wouldn't have even thought of doing that. And I'm like, that's really cool. You know, that he's thought like, oh yeah, if I did this, I could do this. And if I do this, I can do this. And I think there's just so much more variety and sort of complexity to this, and that
there is, but there's also there's an asymptote that, or you know, there's some graph, I don't know what would work with, maybe a parabola, at which, I mean, like Minecraft,
or
you can make anything you can dream of,
or another fancy word,
right? Exactly. Another fancy word. I could come up with all sorts of fancy words, but you know, seriously, Minecraft, you can make anything you can dream of, right? You go into creative mode, sky's the limit, right? But then the question is, A, how good is my imagination, which for me it sometimes isn't. And B, it's the work of actually doing it. And in this game, obviously, you know, okay, that takes away the work part. But then it's the question of like, well, what about when you're done? Then what? And it's
you just get bored with this.
Share the picture.
If it's a big enough area, you can just keep going, can't? There'll be people building like, you know, like Beauty and the Beast and like the whole town.
Yeah, of course.
Oh no,
people will do amazing things with this.
Yeah, or
Absolutely.
like the Disney. Obviously, the Disney castle will probably very quickly get built.
Oh, totally. The Eco Castle I could see being cool. Yeah.
People are going to be building famous castles and
stuff. Whiterun. Yeah, absolutely. I'm not saying you don't have options. Right. I just wish, again, like if they could build them and then I could go walk through them. Think of how cool that would be. Oh my God. Definitely. And then other people could say, make quests. Like to make this next level, we're looking at combining this with Little Big Planet and then adding some way to like, you have user generated content a la Skyrim. Skyrim mod community, like that would be
great. I doubt it's going to happen, but I think that would be amazing if they did that. Yeah,
I think
you could show this to someone 20 years ago and they'd be like, what is this?
I think the game is missing a detonate button.
Yeah, blow it up after you finish.
A lot of people would love to do that, no doubt. Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like
that would actually be very interesting.
And it should be called the Banksy button. You know what I mean? And you just press
go in with bulldozers. Go in with bulldozers afterwards.
And then you have Power Wash Simulator. You clean it all away. And then you start over.
Yeah.
Go.
Me and my colleague at work still look at things and go, I'd love to power wash that. Love to power wash that.
The Duchess didn't believe me when I told her that was a game. She's like, what?
Do you know what though? I again this year have power washed my decking, and it took me the best part of half a day to do it. And unlike the game,
was it very satisfying?
No, not at all. I just was like, when is this going to be done?
Yeah. Well, then what you need to do is you need to take a big shit on your deck first, so it's more satisfying to wash away the shit.
And my neck was hurting for about 3 days afterwards. So you know.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
But yeah, it's done now. It's finally all done and waterproof now.
Okay.
So, yeah,
Glad to hear it.
Tiny
All right,
Glade.
So Tiny
then,
Glade,
is it-
thumbs
is it-
up, I suppose. I didn't run out and buy it. Did you put it on your wish list, Stu?
Yes, I did. I like it.
Oh, you did. Okay, well.
I like it. I want to.
It's gonna have to get real cheap before I buy it, but I might buy it. at some
I'm
point.
gonna have a go. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna have a go at building Bamborough Castle, which is a really
yeah,
famous castle in
that's
the UK. When I've
Go
got it
for
in my hands, see, Buckingham Palace isn't really a castle, but Windsor Castle is. You know, so
Yes, it's true.
There's lots of famous castles, I reckon.
So I could build Dudley Castle, but you can't. Basically, I'd
Dudley.
need the detonate button for
half
it.
of it. Half
You
of
know what I
it.
mean?
Could I make Alton Towers?
Sure.
Probably.
You just go to
There
Planet
you go.
Coaster and you can make all the towers.
There you go.
So
Well, yeah,
That's right.
I mean, the developers already said this is just a game to chill.
on
Yeah,
this
right.
on this very YouTube video that we're watching, right? The pinned comment is, "Hello, Tiny Glade developers here. Thanks so much for giving this game a try and making such a beautiful castle, because they make a very nice castle in this video.
They do. It's brilliant. That's why I picked
We
it.
took
'cause it
took
looks so
notes
great.
from your gameplay and we'll tweak a few things
Damn.
before the full release. Thanks again, Anna and
Huh.
Tom." So it's a couple. I
That's
think
so
it's
nice.
it's a
How many
couple.
views does that video have?
124,000.
That's pretty
Okay,
good.
so they're watching at least
So
the
there's-
ones that
there's-
have a lot of views.
There's
yeah.
interest.
If
There's
I made
interest.
one, they wouldn't be "thank you for your feedback." They'd be
No.
like, "God damn, why is this guy yelling so much?"
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Please
Uh,
delete your video.
Yeah. I think. I mean,
This is a cease and desist order.
Yeah.
We have
If you-
contacted a lawyer.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, before we turn it off, Chinny, can you fast forward to the end of the video and just show what he built in the end?
Oh yeah.
See what it would look like at
That
the
would be
very end.
interesting to see. Stay tuned, people. We're going to
For
see
the audio
the finished
listeners,
result.
for the audio
Should I give you a
listeners,
drum roll?
close your eyes and just imagine a big fucking.
We're going to
castle.
describe it once we see it after the drum roll.
Gene,
Here.
drum roll, please. Okay, enough. Gene.
Wow.
I mean, the show's annoying enough as it is. Steve.
It is. It is.
What am I
What
supposed to do?
the hell was that?
It's Bob's Burgers, the best show
Oh
ever.
my god! But yeah, it looks great. I mean, what he managed to do
Yes,
in that
it's a
very
beautiful
tiny
castle.
space, because it was a very small space.
Yes, yes, he
does
did.
look
That's true.
amazing.
He made
So,
it
yeah,
very
well,
nice.
Well done to him.
Thank to you, Matthew
Oh, my
Bassett.
God.
Bassett.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
say
first
thanks,
time
he
catching
said.
a live. Thank you for joining us live, and welcome to the coolest place on the internet. It's
Well,
cool to listen to this
it
show
isn't.
in podcast form. It's cool to watch the videos after the fact, but seeing it live is special. There's something
And-
magical going on here.
There is. You can see how ugly we all looked. So just say.
Wow.
Speak for
You
yourself.
can see that afterwards.
Yeah.
You can see that in the video after the show's over. But seeing it live, man, anything could happen. I could throw this piece of paper. Like,
Wow.
oh, I don't care about
There
nothing.
you go. See, you wouldn't have seen that if you were only
Yeah.
listening.
All right. Are you all ready to talk about Does It Hold Up?
Yeah, shall we do that? Does it hold? Does it hold up? Does it? hold
Okay.
Does it hold up?
Does he hold
Does it hold up? Does it hold up? I actually quite. It's growing on me, that jingle, by the way. Can I just say?
Thank you. Thank you.
It's
thank
definitely
you.
better than the other one.
All right. Short show. Let's commence the 3 hours of discussing a game
I know
from
we,
10 years ago.
we always do. We always do.
Always do.
Okay, we started off at chapter 10.
Chapter
Ginny, this week.
10.
Chapter 10.
Madagascar.
Madagascar. This
And
game
I
is
didn't
so
see
big.
Chris Rock or Ben Stiller or anything in this.
No,
I was going to make a
didn't.
Groucho Marx joke because he also has a song, Hooray for Captain Spaulding, the African Explorer.
So anyway,
We all got
are
jokes.
The first time we're in a car. In
Yeah, Jeep, in a Jeep.
Well, look, this is the first time that we're in a car where we have full control.
Oh,
of
yeah,
this
no,
Jeep.
yeah,
Vroom,
totally. Yeah,
vroom.
So,
You're not jumping out of it as it explodes going over a cliff.
Well, you do that eventually, but
Yeah, that does happen.
I spoke
that
too
does
soon.
happen. Stu, we had to stop ourselves from talking about this in the car.
I know. I'm like, we'll have
in the
nothing to talk about on the show.
In the 4-hour journey that we had. I love this chapter. I think it's
Yeah.
one of the best things in the whole series.
It's long as well, isn't it? It's a long
massive.
chapter.
It's massive. But I thought the driving felt great. Can I tell you the only thing that I knew about Uncharted 4 before playing this game?
Yeah.
I knew that you had to tie a rope around a tree.
Yes. There's this. I mean, you're introduced to that very early in the game, aren't you? Because when he's salvaging the truck thing, that's
Yeah.
the container that's fallen in the river. that's the first time.
But
you
I was
do
like,
it, so
I
it
don't
does
know,
that.
but why? I don't know why I knew that, but I knew that
Yeah.
there's a time I ride up around a tree and like winds up this jeep, and I was like, why did
Yeah.
I know that? I don't know, but I
But-
must have saw a clip or something.
But don't you love though the little conversation he has with Sully because he paid extra for the winch and he's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, why the fuck did you pay so much money for this car? He's just why did you get the one with a winch? It would have been way cheaper if you didn't."
And what threw me on this chapter was, I in an Uncharted game, I've never had to approach a group of enemies in a car. Like, what do? Do you drive over them? Do you get out?
Yeah.
Do you? And so what did you do? I stealth.
parked up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
parked
parked
up.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, behind
But
the rock.
I imagine you can just fucking go mental, can't you? And just
You could try and run them all
And
over.
just
I
go
guess,
in.
But there's a lot of them. There's a lot of those enemies there. in that
I wonder what would happen if you just went, fuck it, I'm just
should have tried. I mean,
I'm
you'd
just
only
gonna
get
play
reset, wouldn't
I'm
you?
just gonna play my version of Carmageddon and just
Yeah,
fucking
yeah, see if you
ping
can
them
run
off
them.
there, yeah.
But the trouble is, you've got people in the tower, there's snipers, so there's a lot of stuff going on in that level. But what would be interesting is because obviously Sam and Scully, and he said Scully then off X Files, Sam and Sully would still be in the jeep with you, wouldn't they? When you went
Yeah.
racing.
So what would they say?
Yeah, well, they'd be shooting because they do quite a
Mulder-
lot of stuff in this game.
Mulder and Scully, what would they
Yeah,
say?
Mulder and Scully, exactly. Yeah, doodly-doodly. Mind you, it's always supernatural, so it would kind of fit.
Kind of fits.
Kind of fit.
They do a lot. You know what? When I was sneaking, because I got out the car as well, Stu, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sneaking around. Around. Fucking Sam and Sully.
I know they never get seen either. They
And
never get seen.
They're so loud.
Yeah, they are.
And I was like, just keep it down. We're
Yeah,
gonna
what-
get
What are you
seen.
playing at?
I died in a really stupid way in this chapter as well. Like I
Go.
was wincing this, I was going up this mudslide with my rope.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get it round the rock. Remember that bit when you've got
Yeah,
to go
yeah,
round
yeah.
a rock, and I couldn't
Oh,
get it.
right, yeah.
I couldn't get it round this fucking rock, and I was like, "What am I
Yeah.
doing?" So I slid down the slide, and I jumped, and I managed to slide down the side of it. You know where you eventually, when you go up that bit, you
Yeah.
fall off the side, don't you? You know
You
what I
do.
mean? Like
Yeah.
in the cutscene. But I fell off that side, just sliding down, and it was the most pathetic death I've
Yeah.
ever seen or ever done in a video game. It was so, and I was like, what if Nathan Drake actually just died like that? Like just
Yeah.
all of
I
his.
think what's funny is because, like, obviously, at this point, his wife doesn't know he's doing this. Wife doesn't know, and I think there's some weird thing going on here because obviously it's like, oh, he'll never get home to his wife if he gets killed, and he gets killed multiple times in my game.
Yeah, he does, yeah,
but
yeah.
but it'd be fine. It'd be fine. Can I just say I came across the first stupid bit of dialogue.
Okay.
In the game. Because we have, it's been pretty good so far. It's been really believable. Everything's been pretty on point. But Sully, when they've come to the very first tower, Sully says, it's a couple of 100 years. It's looking not too bad for a tower that's a couple of 100 years old.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Can we just say that Henry Avery, the pirate, was around in the 17th century. So it's a little bit more if he built these things than a couple of 100 years old. And I was just like, so this was only built like, a couple of 100 years ago. What the hell's he talking about? So that's the first bit of dialogue where I was like, hold up a minute. These have got to be older than that. What's he talking about? So somebody's a bit daft. If that's the case.
Maybe Sully's just drunk all the time.
Maybe.
Maybe. Puffing on those cigars, having a cheeky
And by the
whiskey.
way, I think this happens before you get to the big shootout with all the guys in the valley bit. I love the set piece where the Jeep goes off the edge of the cliff.
Well, that's the cliff that I'm talking about. The one where I slid off.
Yeah.
So pathetic. It was such a pathetic fall, but it was that's a great. That's a great moment. I'm trying to find it on the video, but I can't find it.
Yeah, it's such a good set piece, and it's this game, right? You know when we were talking about the plane set piece in like Uncharted 3, where you fall out the back and you're doing all that stupid stuff that actually doesn't need to ever be done. This game has that every 15 minutes or so.
It does, but I sort of feel like this Uncharted feels a little bit more grounded in its set pieces.
Oh, definitely, and also in its presentation, and everything that's going on.
Because really, like that set piece that you're talking about, where you're winching the Jeep up and then it slides off the side of the cliff.
Yeah.
Look, that's not hanging out of a fucking plane, is it? But it's
No.
But it's just as like, oh fuck, as exciting.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think I'm gonna say something here, Stuart.
Oh my god.
I don't actually. It might be chapter 11, but the bit where you go across the bridge and you're hanging off the back of the Jeep. I think that's chapter 11.
Yeah.
I think that's the favourite chapter I've ever played of an Uncharted game.
It's a bold statement right there, Mr. Chin.
It is incredible. It's just because I know that when you fall out the train in Uncharted 2, that's a cool opener, and there's great moments in all of these games, apart from one. Fuck one, right? But
yeah, one's
fuck one, right?
One is a piece of shit.
It's
that game.
It's not a piece of shit,
it's a
but
piece of
it's
shit.
not great. It's not great. It
You
isn't
know.
great.
It's a
still
giant
good enough.
turd
It's
covered
good
in
enough
dicks.
to play. It's good enough to
If
play.
it was one of the Mitchell
Hey, the
brothers,
Duchess laugh. What up, Duchess?
if it was one of the Mitchell brothers, Stu, it'd be
Your
the one
cookies
that you
ate 'em?
can't remember the name of.
Oh,
you know,
yeah. Well,
whatever that is, it's shit.
Yeah.
Do
You've
you
got
have one of these?
I
Should
think
have
Duke's
one.
just having a full-on conversation with his
I
wife.
know.
Yeah,
he
sorry.
doesn't know
The
how to
Duchess has
mute.
not tried these chocolate with the Irish cream inside. They're very tasty.
You'd think after
Right?
16 years he'd know how to use a mute button.
I don't know where.
Oh, I know how to use the mute button. You know what the problem is?
Okay.
Yeah, yes.
So,
But
anyway, there's a lot of great moments in all the Uncharted games, but I have to say this chapter, look, the chapter 11 where you go in on that truck and you go in across the bridge and you.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
It's just incredible.
just
It's just incredible.
Amazing. It's non-stop.
And if you get it right and you don't fuck it up, it's even more cinematic, isn't it? Because you
But
just,
I
you know what
fucked
I
it-
mean? It's,
I fucked it
I
up
fucked it up several times.
Several times.
Even though I've done it before.
I ran
Even-
out of ammo when I was sliding on the truck, and I didn't
just- can we
realize.
just say,
I didn't
even-
realize that you had to pull yourself towards the truck. I didn't know.
Oh yeah, but you can do like almost like water skiing.
Yeah.
Like water skiing. But prior to that, we haven't even talked about the bit where you're driving through the town and you're being chased and you're going all down. all
Oh,
these
and you've got
steps
that sort of tank thing.
Yeah,
on
it's
you,
just
yeah.
unbelievable. Like the whole thing is just, and nice little nod. But I'm almost positive that the bike Sammy's on is the one that he shows you at the beginning of the game.
Oh,
It looks an
really?
almost identical model. I'm
Yeah,
sure it is.
Wouldn't surprise me.
I'm sure it is. Not that it's the same bike because that would be weird.
Hmm.
But I think it's the same model and make of bike. I think it's a Honda bike that he has. But
We have skipped over a little bit because there's a bit.
yeah,
where-
no, we need to go back, man. There's just so much to talk
Then
about.
go back and talk about it. People are looking at their phones right now going, why didn't you talk about the rest of the game?
So the bit where you threw the market, I feel like this stuff felt very, this is like Last of Us sort of stuff now.
Oh yeah, you can see where Last of Us 2
Has come
got
from,
all
yeah.
its stuff
Because
because
there's like
a lot of this stuff is in this game.
There was a cool moment, and I mean, in this video that we're watching now, he's doing stuff that I didn't do, but there's a cool moment where I got an apple, right?
Yeah.
And I'm eating this apple through the market, and I'm eating it as I'm walking. He's just eating it as naturally.
Yeah.
Then
Did you do the haggling? Did you do the
No,
haggling?
no, I didn't do the haggling. But I fussed this lemur, and then that lemur nicked my apple, and I
Right,
was
that's
like,
funny.
how did they know that was going to happen? You know, like it's so
Yeah.
interesting. And there's loads of things I could have done in that market. I didn't do it.
Yeah, you see, I did the haggling thing. So there's one of the treasures, and you go up and ask him how much he wants for it, and he's like, oh, this is a great thing. I want X amount of money for it.
Yeah.
And then I thought, wouldn't it be cool? Because I thought that was the end of it.
Yeah.
Right, I thought that's the end of the conversation sort of thing. And I'm like, wouldn't it be cool if you could haggle? And then I press triangle again, and then you start haggling with him. and I'm just like, brilliant. You know, they'd even thought of that. Like one of the treasures you pick up, you just haggle with the market seller.
So
No,
And then
not like that. You're supposed to haggle. 6 for this, you must be mad.
yeah. And then he says
Life
to
of
Sully,
Brian, baby.
"See, that's how you haggle." You
That's
know
how
what I
you
mean? When he
haggle.
finally
Yeah.
when he gets it.
We get to a
Save
tower.
a few Spondulix.
We get to a tower and we go up the
Yeah.
tower, and that fall down
Fucking
the tower,
amazing.
unbelievable. This is
I can't believe how much I've forgotten about this game because it's just fucking batshit crazy, isn't it?
like I say, you're not hanging out of a plane, you're not hanging out of a
No.
train, but this tower, this drop in this tower blew me away.
I know.
It's
I know.
incredible, and this is the same chapter where you do the mudslide on the Jeep. A phenomenal chapter. It's just a hit after hit after hit. This chapter, it's got everything. It's probably the best chapter in Uncharted history. It's just incredible.
What I find hard to believe, and I still do now, that you never played this when it came out.
Yeah, never played
I just
it.
find it incredible because
Crazy.
I was blown away the first time, but I'll be honest, I have forgotten how good this game was.
Incredible.
I really have. Because in my head, it was still Uncharted 2 was the best one.
What did you? Yeah, go on. Sorry.
And I don't know whether that's the case anymore playing this again.
Now you think Uncharted 2 is a piece of shit.
I do.
All the earlier games are pieces of shit.
Uncharted 2 is fucking crap compared to this game.
It does show you how sort of dated Uncharted 2 was, because obviously
And I think that's it because we're playing them together.
we've played them in order, and you're like, you know
Yeah.
what? If we'd have played 4 and then 2, I don't know if we could go and say the positive things about 2.
Uncharted 2.
This story is garbage.
So
Uncharted 4 is the real deal.
what did you think
Yeah.
about the rotating of the pictures puzzle?
I was
and-
fine. I was fine with all of
Yeah,
that stuff.
yeah,
I
I
like the
didn't
fact you
mind
had
that
to
stuff.
remember it.
Yeah.
And a couple of times I was like, I don't think there's one on this one. I can't see it anywhere. And they were really well hidden on some of them.
Well, one thing I thought was odd, because he doesn't know the answer to stuff, does he? So he texts his brother. He says,
yeah.
"Oh, which I like, because you don't see that in games very often, do you?" But I also thought, why don't you just Google it? Why don't you just Google it?
Lazy ass. What are you all worn out from having bells drop on you and shit?
Well, I thought the game was going to go it was going to do what I do when I'm playing puzzles in video games. It's like, just Google the answer. I don't know what to do.
That would have been cool.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to
Google what the
Google.
Aztecs said about
I thought he
this.
was going to Google Uncharted 4 Chapter 11 spinning.
That would be cool. That would be a cool meta moment.
Yeah, that would be very meta.
Some game. That would have been a Yakuza game. They would do that.
Yeah, they'd do that.
Maybe they have.
But yeah, no, I didn't mind that at all. I didn't mind this puzzle. I thought it was kind of cool.
Spaceballs.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of cool.
Yeah, and you know, the problem, I did get a bit annoyed because he was texting Sam and asking Sam, his brother, so much that I thought they should rename the game to Uncharted Let the Other Guy Figure It Out 4. You know what I mean? He was just like, I don't know, somebody else figure
That's
it out.
what Sam should tell him. Fuck off, what am I, your errand boy?
I've been doing this for 10 years. I'm so bored of it.
Do you know what, though? I do think part of that, though, is this almost brother-brother relationship where he's the older brother and he sometimes, now that he's back on the scene, he's
How's
not
he got
quite
this
as
far without
confident.
him? That's you know.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
He's lost some of his self-confidence and he has to keep going back to his brother to ask him, and I think that's interesting. But he does justify it because he said, he spent all that time in prison reading up on all this stuff.
Yeah,
You know what I
he's had time. He's had
He's had
loads of
time.
time. Now, what would you have done with all that
how
time,
much,
Stu?
How many materials do you really have access to in prison, though? I mean,
don't know.
You have a lot of options. I mean, what had he learned about while he was in prison?
I don't know. He'd been reading up on all these pirates, apparently.
Pirates.
So we're told.
Pirates.
So we're told.
Like the history of pirates in the area?
Yeah.
History of all these pirates.
It might be hard to get books about pirate history when you're in
Well,
prison.
do you know what?
It's not like you can just be like, oh, they have this in the next town. Like, do an interlibrary loan for me, please.
We got Pirates of the Caribbean
We'll
on
give it
DVD.
Exactly.
We'll give it a pass. So this is what leads
You will.
into-
This man does not speak for me.
It's called video game logic, Duke.
Yeah, it's what leads
Oh,
in-
now it's video game logic. But when you're walking through Skyrim without getting frostbite, that's not video game
That's
logic.
not
That's
video game
unrealistic.
logic. Yeah, it's unrealistic.
Look,
Yeah.
I'd be more inclined to believe he managed to get some books in a prison than getting frostbite in Skyrim or whatever.
Not getting frostbite in Skyrim.
Yeah, or whatever.
Well, that's
this
because you
then
haven't been to the prisons I've been to.
Then you get the really cool downhill car chase that we referred to earlier, so
Yeah.
that happens.
Mm.
Then the fucking crazy hanging off a frigging car
Bridge.
along a bridge thing, which is just fucking ridiculous.
Incredible.
I've forgotten how incredible that scene was.
Yeah. Or while
and then-
chasing your brother, boy. You're trying
Oh,
to
while-
rescue your brother, aren't you? That's
Yeah, because
Get back here, brother.
he went to the wrong tower.
yeah.
Ah,
I remember that bloody Rafe. That Rafe, fucking hell, he's
boy.
like a sniffer dog.
Yeah,
You can't go anywhere. You never get away with anything.
Yeah.
Can't go anywhere.
That's good.
Can I just say, by the way, Matthew Bassett has put in the chat, great mud. Man after my own heart, like some minor aesthetic detail.
Good mud in this.
Mud, yeah, good mud.
They
in
should have
this.
renamed it to Uncharted.
No, he's talking about multi-user dimensions, the text-based role-playing game.
Maybe.
He's
Maybe.
Uncharted good mud for,
But can we just say?
Yeah.
We can just say, Stu, it's our show.
Any
Say.
You can say what you
any
want.
of these scenes would be happily grace some of the best action films ever made, in my opinion.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? They
Sure.
are good enough to be in like a top-rated, action movie. They're that good. They are that good. Yeah. Just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable, this game.
I died a few times on this section though.
I didn't do too badly. I didn't die very often.
You were talking about Sully's stupid dialogue about the 100 years.
Yeah.
Well, I've got a little thing that bugged me about the story at this point.
Okay.
I don't really buy the fact that pirates, scum of the earth, stealing treasure, would all agree and say, let's put all our treasure in one place.
Yeah, well,
because that's the
Of course,
goal.
we're gonna find all our treasure in one place because that's the easiest way to keep track of it. You idiot.
Yes. Okay.
I tell you
But
what, I know we're all bastards, right? I know we're all bastards, but
Speak for yourself. I'm a jackass.
I think, well, they don't call you Terry the Jackass for nothing, right? I think we should, all this money that we've got and all this gold, just keep it in the same
it's a lot
place.
of money. We've worked hard to get it.
Just put it in one place. Don't spread it around.
Yeah, but what if we want to buy something really big and we need all of it at once?
Like a
We're gonna go
jacuzzi.
from island to island, picking up stuff. No.
Yeah. So I didn't buy that shit.
Someday they'll
No,
have
I've
little
got-
cards we can carry.
I've got a slightly bigger issue than that with the pirates, if I'm being honest, Ginny.
No, my issue
There's
was
no bigger
massive.
issue than that.
My issue was
That's
massive.
very
No,
big.
not as big as this.
Come
but
on. Come on.
So we're meant to believe, right, that and let's be honest, I don't often think of pirates as being intelligent people. They're a bit more
Hey,
rapscallion and rough.
that's piratists.
Possibly. But
Piratist.
that he manages to make the most complex mechanisms anyone's ever seen,
Well, of
to
course.
hide
You don't
all
want
this
people
treasure.
taking your shit.
No, but I mean, these things are complex. I mean, you're talking.
Okay, so they hired someone to design elaborate.
Who
And then
knows?
killed them.
Hide the
And then
shit.
killed them.
And then killed them and stuffed them in and took the money back.
Yeah.
You shouldn't trust
Leonardo
pirates.
da
There's no
Vinci. That's who
honor
they are doing all
among.
this stuff.
Also,
Some saying there's no honor among. I don't know how it goes, but
That's thieves. Honor among thieves.
I think
right.
he
That's
knew
the
that.
joke. Is one of the subtitles of Uncharted is no honor among thieves. Go ahead.
I think they didn't have Google back then, Stu. So they
No, they didn't.
They were bored.
I mean, were
Ye
they
olde
looking
Google.
at? We're looking at YouTube how to build complex
No,
machinery.
like,
what
you
were
know,
they doing?
They didn't.
No, but every town had its own version of Google. Like some guy who knew a lot, and so it's
Yeah,
like,
they
hey,
must
go
have
ask
done that.
Google.
Seriously,
But,
they must have done.
Yeah.
This was, they didn't even have pogs. Do you know
Where
what I mean?
did
This
he
is
get all
before
that
pogs.
metal from? Where did he get all that metal from on these remote islands? That's what I want to know.
I don't know.
Melting down the pots.
And I think that's the trouble. If you really start
Yeah,
dissecting these
Stu-
games, it does fall apart
Stu,
slightly.
I'm going to give you the video game logic reason because it's video games.
Yeah,
okay.
it's a video game.
All right.
Exactly.
Oh,
Get
my God.
over it.
We
Um,
got that sorted.
so the
We're
end
ready
of-
to move on with this short show.
No, the end.
So anyway, so
No,
to
no,
get
no,
to the end.
No. The end of this chapter.
Short show my ass. That should be the title of the show this week. Short show my ass.
The end of this chapter.
These
Elena.
motherfuckers always come in crying about we gotta do it very
How-
fast.
how
this
did
week. We
she
can't do a long
know?
show.
How did she know where he was staying?
Elena
That's what I
finds out about Nathan's escapades. Yeah, how did she find out, Stu?
I have no idea. How did she know where he was?
We never
exactly?
find out. Yeah.
Does he have a
No,
blog?
She just turns up on
Yeah.
his in his.
He's got a
motel room.
YouTube channel. He's got. He's got
He's
a.
got a YouTube channel.
He's got it
He's
on
like,
his Insta.
oh, shit.
It's on his Insta pages.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my
It's
god!
like cheesy selfie outside the tower.
Having a great time in Madagascar with my brother. Yeah.
But yeah, I said this to Chini when we were driving down. This is some of the best facial animations for emotions I've ever seen.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
And
super convincing.
You've always had a massive issue with Elena's face, haven't you?
I have. It looks all right in this one.
Yeah. Yeah. You
It looks
hate. You
alright.
hate. You hate her face.
Well, she looked like she's had really dodgy plastic surgery in Uncharted 3.
Well, she's
It just looked
reversed
weird.
it. She's reversed
She has. But amazing scene.
And that's
this.
not easy to do.
It is a
so
good scene, and it's very well handled, and like even
Yeah.
Sam and Sully's awkwardness is very well done. And,
It is.
You know that they feel awkward, and and it's weird because the solution to this was so obvious because Elena did at the start of the game give him a bit of a say like, are you happy? You know, and I feel like if you'd have just told her the truth, he could have got over this because I think
She said that. She said,
Yeah.
why didn't you
just
tell
him.
me?
Just tell her. Just tell her. You would have
And he's
been
like, because
fine.
you'd have reacted like this. It was so realistic as to what would have probably happened.
We've
I
all
loved it.
been there. We've all
We've all
been
been
there.
there. I loved it.
Anyway, so that's that chapter. Chapter 12 is where we go on the islands. Didn't love the chapter, Stu, on the islands. It was okay.
Yeah, it was a bit
okay.
slow, wasn't
It's
it?
a
And
bit slow.
you had to
But I
follow these
understand.
arrows that didn't really point in the direction
No,
you
I
were
don't know.
going.
Yeah, but it's sort of like you start on a boat and you can go anywhere on this boat, which again is unique for Uncharted, and it does feel like you're exploring a lot, doesn't it? In this game,
Yeah,
you're truly
definitely.
exploring. But I understand that if you're talking about pace, you've just had one of I think is the best chapter in an Uncharted game. You've got to slow it down a bit. You know what I mean? And
little bit.
this chapter is. I don't really have a lot to say about this chapter. You're on a bunch of islands. You do stuff.
Yeah.
It's fine.
You find the how to get to the island where supposedly all the treasures combine, don't you?
Yeah, and really where this picks up is towards the end where people
Yeah.
come and there's a thunderstorm coming. And I didn't realise this, but this is actually the first thing we see in the when we play the game.
This is the
which
prologue to the game.
Yeah, this
It's
is the
like
prologue.
beginning
With
of the
this, so the end of this chapter leads up to the prologue where you're being chased on a boat.
Which
and
is
you
similar to what they did in Uncharted 2 with the
Yeah,
train, isn't it? Because you
yeah.
get about halfway through and then suddenly you're on the train again.
So we can move on to chapter 13 very quickly because yeah. So you washed up on a beach. A lot of like what I really appreciate, and I think this is sort of like a developer thing. You know, like other developers would look at this and be like, "Yeah, it's amazing." How many new animations you get all the time in this game?
Yeah.
Like unique one-time animations that you never see ever again. Because when Nathan Drake is tired on the beach, there's so many animations you're like, I've never seen him do that. Whereas in a lot of video games, all the animations are repeated and repeated and repeated. So
like Senua's Saga. That's what happens in that.
don't you dare bring that fucking game up to me.
He's gotta bring it up.
That game doesn't even know what it's called, right? So just stop it. So he slips and falls, and then he wakes up, and he's stopped raining, and you get a new tool in this, don't you? You get a
basically you get a Lara Croft grappling hook.
But the difference is in Lara Croft you can keep using it, whereas this you can only use it once, and you've got to find another thing with your hand.
You do. I mean,
so it's a bit different.
It does feel a little bit copied, if I'm being totally
well,
honest.
yeah, but the fact that you can only use it once. Because
yeah,
in Lara
how
Croft,
can we make it different?
Yeah, and so you've only got one chance basically to use it before you have to grab something with your hand, which I thought was good. This chapter, because you come across a few enemies in this chapter, I really enjoyed the fact that you can lose the enemy now. I really enjoy that. Like, if you can, because this enemy fight it's on a bunch of cliffs, isn't it? You know what I mean?
And there's a lot of them.
There's a lot of them, and there's a lot of cliffs, and there's a lot of ledges and tall grass. So you can hide and get away so quickly, and it's so much fun. It's so much fun.
I had something to say, and I forgot to say this at the beginning again. But you know, at the beginning with the Jeep and the boat, I love the way, and I know this is totally stupid because you do this, Chitty, so it's something that people do. He steers one-handed.
Yeah.
He does the one-handed like this with the giving
That's
you
the
all
way cool people drive.
Yeah, no, and it's like so Nathan Drake. You're like, that's how he would do it.
Are you saying that I'm like Nathan Drake?
Really? I'm Nathan Drake when I
not
drive.
Chinny.
I'm like Nathan Drake.
Cool. Yeah, Chinny's
if
like
I attempted
Nathan
some of the climbs that he did, I wouldn't get up for a week.
No, but you
I do most
steer
things
like
like
it.
Nathan Drake,
You
to be
steer
honest.
like it.
Yeah, I'm a lot. I mean, me and Nathan Drake, we're pretty much the same person.
Yeah. I thought I was podcasting with Nathan Drake, to be honest.
He doesn't care.
Yeah, I love that. Then you reunited with Sam, and
a copyright strike.
Good brotherly argument at the when you get reunited with him, because you're sort of debating, because Nathan Drake's giving up now, and I have to say it's a bit late to fucking give up, because he has an argument with his brother, doesn't he, Stu?
Yeah.
And he's like, "What are we doing?" I'm like, "You've got so far."
So just a minute, his wife just arrived and berated him and said, like, "You'd take picking this over me," basically.
Yeah.
But his brother, he says it to his brother.
Yeah.
Like, not sort of a couple of hours later or whatever. Well, it's probably a bit longer than that, but you know what I mean. And it's like, but wife wasn't enough.
You could argue that he's like feeling a bit, you know what, like she's pissed off for me. Is this worth it? But I'm like, you're basically at the front door at this place, and you're saying this, and then you find the lost city of whatever the hell it's called. I don't know. It's always every Uncharted game you find some fucking lost city. All right.
So many lost cities that aren't very good at staying lost.
Yeah. Bilston is a lost city by me.
Somewhat lost cities.
I tell you what, if
parts of London are lost.
If Nathan Drake came to Bilston, he'd be like, "Oh my god,
do you know what?
This is untouched civilization. This hasn't been touched for years."
There's a reason that this was lost.
Yeah.
Do you know what the interesting thing is, right? And Fraser's made this point in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
When you get to this lost city, in my head, right, and at the time when I played it the first time, I think it was like, I guess we're getting towards the end of the game now because we've finally got to the lost city. But this is only chapter, was it?
We're up to 14 now.
Chapter 14.
And there's 22, so we're halfway
22.
through.
So we know, like, this is not
You got
the
another
end of the game.
3 installments of this coming, people.
Well, yeah.
And Fraser said Uncharted 4 totally went on too long, but it did look amazing, though.
Yeah, well,
kind of like this part of the show.
Wow.
Joe,
yeah.
shut up.
Yeah.
You look amazing, is all I meant.
Yeah.
So that's where we are.
That's where we're at. Yeah, we finally got
That's
to
where we're
the
at.
Pirates' lost city, and we're gonna get the gold and the treasure, and it's gonna be all.
It's happening, people.
Everything's gonna be fine.
It's all gonna be wrapped up nice, like in a pink bow. In a pink bow.
Yeah. There's gonna be dancing and partying and blackjack and hookers.
Dancing and partying and dancing.
One more time.
All right, short show. What next?
Well, that's it. That's it for me because I've nothing else to add about.
Yes,
golf.
and we can finally talk about the news that I've been saving for weeks.
Go on then, dude.
No, I'm just kidding. Obviously, I'm not going to start talking about the news since you're in such an eager.
Well, there is one thing you put in the notes I do want to slightly touch on because it came to light a little bit this week. It came to light a little bit this week.
Yes. There's some good stuff in the news that I put down.
Which is the after you die.
It's the 7-Eleven Tetris console. Oh no!
Don't give a shit about that.
Yeah.
It's.
I don't care about this news story you wanted to talk about. Go ahead. When you die.
After you die, your Steam games are stuck in legal limbo, so you can't pass them on or bequest them to someone in your will.
You don't own them, people.
You don't own them. And somebody asked this question to Steam Help or Steam whatever support. And said, "Can I put my Steam library in my will and will it to someone?" And I went, "No,
nope,
because you can't share your password, you can't share your account with anyone else.
Right.
So yeah,
you can share, but you can't give it away.
I want to will it to like a cat or something. Yeah,
yeah.
Like, so someone who can't do anything with it.
You can share it in family sharing, so you can share your library with somebody else, and they can play the games in your library. So it would work that way." But and I've had this happen, but I share my library with someone at work. No, I share my library with someone at work, and occasionally it glitches and it sort of drops out, and you have to reauthorize them to have access again. So if you did that, there's not necessarily going to last forever because sometimes it doesn't, it suddenly stops. But it came to light a little bit for me this week because I was playing something on Steam, and you get like friends that have also played this game. Well, one of them was Gary Lever, and I was like, "Oh my god, that's so sad."
Those of you who never knew Gary Lever, you missed out, man. He was awesome.
He passed away.
He was a really nice guy, and he passed away at a very young age.
Pour some out for our dead homies.
Yeah, and I was just, and it just like I'd read this news story earlier in the week, and then saw that, and I was like, "That's." It's just weird. It's so odd, like because you think his whole library is still sat there.
I love Gary, but I do.
And on Discord servers, like his name is still listed as like.
I love Gary, but I'd also love some of his games as well. You know what I mean? Like that's. You know what I mean?
He would want us to have his games.
Of course he would.
Yeah, he would.
Of course he would.
Some of the games he used to play, though, I'm not sure I'd want to play. he didn't.
Well,
he didn't have the same taste.
most
as me.
games that I played, he had already played them, so he was like, "Oh, you're gonna love that one." I'm like, "All right,
Yeah.
cool."
So, but yeah, God rest
Anyway.
his soul. But yeah, it's just a weird
Yes.
scenario, isn't it? Because you don't.
It is a
own,
weird scenario.
You don't
Because
own. the
one,
game.
if you had a whole lot of SNES games and you died, you give them to your kids.
By the way, I'm
Not
sorry,
Steam
sorry to
games.
bring this up. But you know Neil at the meetup, Stu. Do you know
Yeah.
what time he got in his house?
half past 11 the following day or
The
something.
following day.
Jesus.
God
How
knows
far
what
away
he
does he
was
live?
doing all day.
So I think he might have either gone to a casino all night or stopped at
Oh.
Pilch's. One of those happened.
Yeah, we don't
you go.
know. We don't know. So yeah, who knew? Yeah, so it's a bit of a funny scenario, I guess.
You've got a clip of me.
There he is.
Got a bit of a funny
There
scenario.
he is.
Right.
Yes.
On that note,
Right.
we have
It's
got
time for
emails.
emails?
It is indeed.
Okay, let's do some emails.
Whoa, that ruled.
Okay, first email this evening is from My Tainted Brain.
Tainted Brain. Is it in Japanese?
It is. I can't even read this.
Oh,
and he
sweet.
says, "Ooh, an email."
Oh,
Ooh, I like that. That was
Something
like
in
a
the way.
harmony then. He says,
Hey,
"Hey,
Fraser's in the chat.
Hey, all."
Help.
First off, my thanks to Chinny for the Notion template. I've got it all up and working again. Thanks for that. So,
What is a Notion template? Sorry.
it's for tracking all his games when he's played them, how long
Oh,
he's
gotcha.
played
Okay,
them for.
gotcha.
all that
Thank you.
jazz. All that jazz.
Neil's in the chat. He's watching, so he's
Oh, he's
alive.
alive.
He's
In the
alive.
chat.
Neil is
Fraser's in the chat.
alive.
Did you stay at Pilch's or did
Huzzah.
you
Yeah,
did you stay at the casino all night? We want to
Yeah,
know.
what
inquiring
happened?
minds want to know.
Yeah, we
And
want to
sorry,
know what
Jason,
went on.
Tainted Brain. We'll get to your email in a second. We got business to handle.
Well, I'll carry on while we're waiting for his response. But
I thought you might. That's a good thing. to do,
he said, so I've been fighting a dip recently, but rather than face anything, I've been gaming, making sure to distract myself. Not the healthiest attitude, I will
Yeah.
admit. And I don't recommend it to anyone, but, well, anyway.
I'm sorry you're in a dip. You know, this too shall pass. That's my only advice.
Indeed. It now seems that I've finished 14 games so far this year. That's,
my
That's
God.
pretty impressive,
That's
I've got
impressive.
to say.
It is.
Pretty impressive.
Matt
Um,
and him went to a hotel, by the way.
I've been working on the dreaded backlog.
Ooh.
I'm
Yes.
currently working my way through the Outer Wilds, which is a weird, spacey, timey loop game. Yeah, I
Yes.
just couldn't get on with it. I tried.
couldn't get
it
into
Oh my
it.
god!
so many
Sorry,
times.
we've got
People will not shut up about
We've
this.
got a
game.
blast from the past in the chat. He's in
We have?
he's in the Twitch chat though.
Oh, I was looking at Fraser. There.
Viva La Pedros, Tom.
Oh my
Remember
god!
him?
Oh my
I
God.
do.
Wow.
What?
What is
the
special about this
hell?
week?
I know
All
what
the
is
cool
going
people are
on.
showing up.
What is going on?
Okay, carry on.
Anyway, I'll try
Okay,
and carry
finish with the email. Tainted
Carry
Brain.
on.
Sorry.
Carry
Yes,
on.
he's playing Outer Wilds. Right.
Playing Outer Wilds and Astro's Playroom.
Oh yeah,
which
good
is on
game.
I don't know what that is.
PlayStation.
It's a great game, Astro's Playroom. It's a PlayStation sort of thing. They've just
I
announced
never
a new
played
one.
it, so how good can it be?
They've
Yeah,
just
I'll-
announced a new one. It's gonna be good.
It's gonna be good.
I never
But
played.
I'm thinking of taking a longer game to play alongside. So which
Yeah, Skyrim's long.
Which out of
Senua's
these
Saga is pretty long.
Yeah, go on.
do we want to get through this podcast
I don't
eventually?
know. Live, I don't know.
Personally, I don't care.
We're aware.
So which out of these would you recommend? Oh my god.
Yeah, okay. Go
Which
ahead.
out?
Sorry.
I'm getting a headache. Just saying.
Just now you're getting a headache? I've
No,
been
I've
trying to
been
give you a
getting-
headache all
It's been
night.
building up for an hour.
Yes.
So which out of these would you recommend, right? The Witcher 3
No.
or Mass Effect Legendary Edition?
Oh.
I said,
Are those the only two choices?
That's what he's going
Oh,
with.
Mass Effect, no question.
Yeah, I'd say Mass Effect. Yeah.
And I'm going to be totally honest now. As much as I love Witcher 3, and I do because I love that game, I think I've got to say Mass Effect 2 if he's never played it.
And certainly, if you're going for time as well, like you want a long game, those
yeah,
3
if you
games will
ne-
take you a long time.
If you've never played it, shame on you.
Oh,
but
you're
at
gonna
least
love
you're going
it.
to play
no,
it
no,
now.
no, he's gonna love it.
He's
He's
gonna
gonna
love
have
it.
so much fun. It's such a great game.
Now,
you gotta let us
interestingly-
know how you like it.
Interesting. He says, if Mass Effect, what order would you recommend playing, or would you recommend skipping? No, I mean, as
No,
much
don't
as the
skip
first
nothing.
game's a bit
It's a very different
yanky,
game.
Well, we
You've
played
gotta
them.
play
We
all
played them
three.
for Does It Hold Up,
Yeah,
didn't we? And
yeah,
they
and
all
held
And
up.
did
they
you
all
decide
held
that
up.
we
They
still
all
never
held
made
up.
clear that? Yeah.
And you've got to play all three for the story, otherwise you wouldn't know what the hell was going on if you just started.
I mean,
at
they
two.
recap the first one.
I
at the
know, but
beginning
it's
of
not the
second one, and you don't-
same, is it?
But it's not the same because
It's a
it is-
bunch of sexy
I think I
aliens.
once said that I once went on record saying that the Mass Effect storyline 1, 2, and 3 is the best storyline in video games, and I think that's probably still true. Like there have been some really good stories since then, but they are certainly top 5.
Oh yeah.
And I think and you experience them in a way that is different from you would in a movie, right? As much
Yeah,
as I
definitely.
like Skyrim, like it's not very different. It's the gameplay that's fun in Skyrim. The storylines are, whatever, they're fine.
Garbage.
But Mass Effect has story, and it's not just the main story. It's all the people, the characters, the stories,
Definitely.
Garrix's background, all the stuff about Jack, like awesome stuff.
Thane,
And also-
that weird alien Thane who's dying. You know
Yeah.
him, like
Yeah.
I mean, like a sort of lizard.
I don't
guy.
remember him, but I will say this, and it won't mean anything to Brian, but had to be me. Someone else would have gotten it wrong.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
still
no,
makes me
you've
tear
got
up,
to
man.
you've got to play from the first game because it does have an impact on what happens in the other two games as well.
It does.
So,
That's true.
so
That's
you've
true.
definitely got to do that.
And it's just a fun game. Like it's totally worth your time.
Oh yeah.
and
There's
obviously
no
played them
reason
in
to
order.
skip it.
Played them in order.
Yes, 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, and the DLC,
1, 2, 3.
which is like Shore Leave, hands down best DLC I've ever
Sure,
played.
and Shadow Broker's good as well.
Shadow Broker's good too, yeah, but Shore Leave is the best one.
Yeah.
I don't
which
really
only
remember
has-
though. No, you're not going to say that's better than the Cyberpunk DLC, though. Come on.
Oh yeah, no, it isn't. No, I'm lying.
Okay,
It's
fair
up there though. It's up there as an amazing DLC. So
Okay. What else does he say in his email? Short show.
he said,
short show.
Duke,
Yes.
Duke, that song was truly excellent.
Oh, thanks, Brian.
Encore.
Start it up. Yeah, if
And
anybody didn't
it-
hear last week, go find last week's show. At the very beginning, I played a new track. Start it up.
Start it up. And he says at the end, "Oh, was the meetup this weekend? I hope you had a great time." Well, you'll find out because it's at the beginning. You'll have already heard it by the time we get to this point.
Yeah,
You'll
that's
know what
right.
happened. So he says,
Yeah.
"Thanks, guys, for the podcast, Brian."
Brian.
Thank you, Brian. We love you. Konnichiwa.
Brian. Right, okay. Next
Domo
email.
arigato for the email.
Next email this evening is from Jason.
Short show.
I hated that.
I hated that.
Yeah. I hated
Of course. Why do you think I did it?
My headache. By the way, my
You know
headache
what I
just
feel
got
about that?
slightly worse.
that. Come on.
Slightly
come on.
worse.
Let's keep going.
I love the title of this email because it's so great. So the title of this email
Right.
is, "What were the skies like when you were young?" To me, they were the most beautiful, you know. I can't
That's what I
always be there. But the cool thing is, actually, Jason comes from Texas.
Is what he's
So
writing.
Jason-
Yeah, sure. There
So
you
he
go.
does come from Texas.
You don't see them in the desert. You might still see them in the desert.
Yeah. I can't always be there to hold your hair
Fuck
up
you
when
talking
you're
about?
sick.
Okay, for those who don't know, like
Oh my
Chinny, he is
God.
quoting Jason Gallagher, the beginning of the song Little Fluffy Clouds by the
By the
Orb.
Orb.
It's very
By
well
the
known
Orb.
among those of
Oh,
us who like good
God.
electronic music. And if you're not cool enough, well, guess what?
Oh
It's time to up your game on Spotify,
Yeah.
biatch.
Ambient house music is one of the best albums
Also,
ever.
hey, can I leave a message at reception for Marcus Garvey? Am I right, people? They did a prank call at the beginning of one of their songs where they call to leave a message for
I
Marcus
do.
Garvey.
I remember
or something.
that.
Oh my
I remember
god, this
that.
is so boring.
Oh God.
Well, how about this?
Anyway.
Maybe we should talk about Aphex Twin, and who in one of his songs had a chorus that said, "I would like some milk from the milkman's wife's tits." Does that strike your fancy for good music, Chinny?
No.
I will get through this email eventually. I will.
I just got to make sure I keep referencing songs Stu likes because then he won't get too mad at me.
Yeah. Anyway, he says, "Hey, Stewpot, how was your date with Mike? Did you wear your onesie?" No, I didn't actually. No, but
But
yeah,
Rosa wore her.
I spent a lot of car time. We had a road trip.
Okay, last one, I promise. Chinny, would you enjoy a song where someone talks about a theory of the Mobius strip, a twist
Yeah.
in the space-time continuum where time becomes a loop?
I understood.
Where time becomes a loop.
I understood 35% of what you said there. To be
Where
honest.
time becomes a loop.
Do you know where that comes from, by the way? Do you know where it comes from? That sample. in particular?
I'm trying to move on, people. I'm
No,
sorry.
but do you know?
Yes,
Just
I
out of
don't
interest.
know. I know. I brought it up. I don't. Where does it come from?
Is it Garth? I think it's called Garth. It's from Star Trek: The Next Generation. It was an episode of that.
Oh, nice.
Where the
Okay,
storyline
cool.
was about they get stuck in a
there you go.
Mobius.
There you go.
Because-
Cool.
And everything
Where
keeps
time
happening
becomes a
over and
loop.
over. Everything keeps happening over and over again.
All right, let me ask you this, Stu. Where does this come from? Even a stop clock is right twice a day.
I don't know, but do you mean from the track, or do you mean from the actual?
Well, no, it's from an Orbital song, but I don't know where the actual sample's from.
I think I've got a gun in
Anyway.
this room somewhere. Somewhere.
What are you gonna shoot me? Guess what?
Ah.
Can we?
I'll shoot
Can
myself.
you mute him? Can you mute him, Chinny, from your end?
I can, yeah.
Go
I
ahead,
think maybe
go
you
ahead,
should do that while I read the rest of
Go,
this
go,
email.
go.
Oh God!
I'm trying to think of other electronic music songs that have like sound samples.
Duke's. Sorry, I'm so confused what I'm doing now. Even he
You
said
are.
I know. He continues. Duke, solid recording, man. Teach, don't preach.
Thank you. I preach when I teach.
Catching you up on the GameStop saga, Roaring Kitty finally streamed. It's had
Fuck
millions
Roaring
of
Kitty.
views.
I'm so sick of this guy.
The talking heads and short sellers were begging him to stream, hoping they could charge him with something. Dude comes on and acts like dumb money playing them. The haters are disappointed, make fun of him on the news. I'm playing the game. I see that live in front of the world. He managed to show that the algorithms are manipulating the stock based on his actual speech. That
The
he's
only people who get any news coverage are trolls.
that he's not pumping and dumping, that Wall Street is just rigged. He told the world he would stream at noon. At noon, the stock was halted, so to not move up or down.
You
And
know
that's
what?
true.
I'm sorry.
That's bogus.
It's totally bogus, but it goes to show that, yeah, this guy has power, and no, the people who run the world are not going to let him take it. So they're fighting troll behavior with anti-troll devices. Like, that's not surprising.
No, they're cheating.
Which is why
Anyway.
it's not about, right, but it's not about trolling these people. It's about changing the goddamn laws and regulations.
So he shows up at late on purpose at 12:30 just to prove their manipulation.
Well, that's a smart thing to do, I suppose. Like, it's
Yeah.
good that he's exposing that.
He studied the financial, posted memes, and had fun for a while exposing corruption. Keith Gill is a legend. Roaring Kitty will be my writing for president. Video games are the biggest industry in media. GameStop will capture this above and beyond. Not financial advice, but I love video games and the underdog communication from Jacinta. Name your girl,
Jacinta.
Harriet or Tommy.
She told me what they named it. I don't know if I'm allowed to tell people what she chose, but
Oh, okay. Well, I don't think she'd mind.
she did choose a name. I don't think she would either.
No. Anyway.
But she also said she liked my song and she caught the Taylor Swift sample. What?
Anyway, Harriet sings the
Anyway.
songs of the Sundays, and Tommy is Marissa's last name, and she's the sweetest. Oh, Dallo. That works. There you go, Jason. So there you go.
Well, Marissa Tomei is awesome, no doubt. Imagine you're a deer. You're thirsty.
know,
You
I
go to a
love that
brook.
film.
You put your lips to the water, and bam! A bullet rips off your freaking head. Now I ask you, would you give a damn what kind of pants that son of a bitch who shot you was wearing?
I like her. She's cool.
Yeah, she is.
She's
My
great.
cousin Vinny. What a film that is.
The Duchess was so nervous when we started watching that because she's Italian and she worries about Italian American stereotypes. And so for the first like half an hour, she's like, and then like Marissa Tomei developed as a character over the course of that story, and it's now one of her favorite movies.
It's a brilliant
So,
movie.
yeah,
I can watch that
it's such
movie
a great
anytime.
movie.
It's
She should
such a good
watch-
movie.
If anybody hasn't seen My Cousin Vinny, check it out.
She should watch The Godfather. There's lots of positive Italian stuff.
She actually didn't for a while, and then we watched it, and she really liked it. So, you know, it's that thing of like, there's the thing, and then there's what people do with it, right? There's the band, and there's the fan club, and like a lot of the people who are in the fan club of The Godfather are god awful, and they perpetuate all the stereotypes, and they don't recognize the humanity in the characters. And same with Scarface, man. Every time I see somebody's like talking about Scarface, I'm like, okay, you like Scarface? Why did he refuse to do the thing that the violent mafia wanted him to do? And they're like, what? And I'm like, yeah, see, exactly. You don't really love Scarface, because if you did, we could have a conversation about it. But anyway.
Anyway,
Thanks, Jason.
that's
short
it
show.
for email.
Short show. Anyway, right. Short
Yeah,
show.
thanks,
Short
Jason.
show. Do you like to study philosophy? It's about life, existence, and of course, universe itself.
Anyway.
Short show.
Anyway,
short show.
any more
Short show.
emails?
No, that's it for emails. So we have got.
Okay, we got a speak pipe.
We have got a speak pipe. I did send it. Type. It's the way to leave a message for us.
And in the interest of a short show, I'm going to play it at 3 times its normal speed so we can get through it very quickly. No, I'm just kidding. But I am going to say I've decided to take my work back underground to stop it falling into the wrong hands.
Hey, Veteran Gamers,
Saint
it's
Diesel.
Saint Diesel back again. I was out and about yesterday, and on the side of a bus, I seen a big advert for the new movie with Benedict Cumberbatch, and the movie was simply called Eric.
Woo!
And I suddenly thought, well, there's a movie called Eric now, and there used to be that TV series with Ricky Gervais, Derek, that guy who used to contact your show all the time. It was a bit weird. I didn't really like his voice much.
Oh, he was awesome.
But I thought, well, what if there was a TV series called Mike and a TV series called Stu? What would they be about? And I thought, well, I've got a 6-episode series, each one lasting half an hour. I imagine the series called Mike would be about a guy who's got a strong Brummie accent, and people who weren't from the Birmingham area would misunderstand what he said, and he'd get into some hilarious scrapes, and but it would all turn out good in the end. And for Stu, well, it would be a case of something similar, but in his case, it would be whatever he wanted. People at first refused him, but he just kept talking and talking and talking to them, and in the end, they relented, and he got what he wanted.
Wow!
Not like real life, of course, but and by episode 6, people knew what he was like, and they just simply give him whatever he wanted, regardless. And I'll leave it at that. So there you go. What would it be a TV series with Mike and Stu be about?
Wow.
There is
so first of all, Chinny isn't from Birmingham, so that's a thing.
But people don't understand what I say, though.
that is true, though.
That's never true. No one's ever had trouble with that, to be fair. I think people.
But he's not saying it's about Mike Chin. It's just about someone named Mike.
I think people are less likely to understand you than they are me, Stu.
How rude! I think I've got quite good diction.
I don't think either of you all are hard to understand.
No.
Well,
that's an American saying that, man.
Yeah, we've got proof of this because Duke would not be able to understand anything either of us said if that were the case.
I had to watch Trainspotting with the goddamn subtitles on.
Yeah. He said, "We want a sitcom where they live together." Now you're
like a reality TV show? Absolutely not. God, I would drive them bonkers.
It would be Battle Royale. It would be a Battle Royale.
Stop washing the dishes! Stop washing the dishes! It's my turn. I want to wash the dishes.
That's more like it. Yeah,
he's yelling at me.
Chinny and Stew. I don't know. What would you call it? Chin Stew. I don't know. Is that the theme tune to this show? Is it?
It's the theme tune to The Odd Couple. Yeah, and that's what Homer started singing when he made Bart and Lisa share a room. It was obvious it's going to be the worst thing ever. Dad.
Yeah, well, we sort of had that when we all lived together in that Airbnb in 2019.
We did.
And that didn't go great.
It didn't go well. I mean, at one point, Bongo was running around the house naked. So,
yeah. Well,
that sounds like it went very well.
No, that was a good part of the weekend. Yeah.
That was the best part of it. What are you talking about?
Yeah. So, yeah.
Apparently, there is a TV show coming out called Mike, and it's about Mike Tyson.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, there you go. So it's going to be a comedy.
It's going to be a laugh.
I threw a chair at my girlfriend.
A laugh a minute. I bit the ear off.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to be hilarious. I don't know.
Well, thank you, Derek. We appreciate that question.
Called an actual one called Stu? I don't know. Is it?
Well, no. There is one called Eric, and there's one called Derek, but there isn't one called Stu. So he was asking what it would be about.
No. I was just wondering.
There's a TV show called Stu. My name is Stu.
There you go. We'll go with that. It's got a good rating. It's 9.4 out of 10.
Is that a real thing?
Yeah. There's a show called Stu. My name is Stu.
Well, all right then.
I don't see no 9.4
Case closed.
out of 10.
Oh yeah, it does.
IMDb,
it's got 9. Which is good because they usually score quite low.
Keep it real.
But it's only been reviewed by people called by Stu. Like. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound. Oh, calm down. This is a bit ironic, Chinny. Stu knows it. Day one, he'll become a famous actor, but there's a long way to get there. From doomed auditions to an unsupportive mom from the Midlands. Crazy flatmates and a compulsive liar agent follow Stu's journeys. He tries hard to pursue his dream.
Is that ironic, Duke?
No, it's not ironic. I didn't want to say anything, but since you ask, it's coincidence.
Yeah.
Yeah, although it's not about Chinny, where Chinny comes from the Midlands, I don't. But I'm just saying the fact he comes from the Midlands is kind of interesting, I suppose.
Interesting. Yes, it is. Okay. So are we done with this short show now?
Short show.
I think we're done. But thank you, Derek.
All right, let's do some shout out. Yeah, thank you, Derek. We appreciate that.
Derek.
It's time for a shout out.
So I just want to be clear that I watched all that fucking Xbox stuff for no reason. Is that?
I know. Well, we did. Well, it's your own fault for turning
Apparently, I
up
don't
half
know.
an hour late. So
No,
that's
it's
your
not.
fault.
That's not my fault.
Maybe
That is
Stu
your
could go,
fault.
and then Shinny and I could talk about it.
We'll talk about it next week because who cares if it's current or
I mean-
not? We don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Because I just don't care, Duke. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care either.
How can you not care? This
I
is
just
a
don't care.
community process, and we each have to invest in each other's emotional well-being. And if you express a glib sense of disdain for the concerns of others, even if it's just like, I wanted to talk about this news story, that could have some serious consequences to other people in terms of their, sense of connectedness. And isn't that really why we do this, is for people to be connected?
You know what, Duke? I don't care.
You're connected. The writing's on the wall. Somebody's got to do a shout out. I'm just going to keep singing. And if
All
your
right,
mind's
okay.
rejected, stumbled, you might fall. Stumble, you might fall.
Right, I'll start then. I'm going to shout out.
I see
obviously,
through you.
Shut up! Christ. Jesus, wet.
I mean, he did start to do a shout out, and you carried on.
I know.
I know.
It's just
Sorry.
a nightmare.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Right. I was going to shout out, obviously, Chinny
thank
and Tara for being brilliant hosts and having a really, can I say, really comfy bed. I have stopped at Chinny's for a number of years on an air bed on the floor, which is the uncomfiest thing I've ever slept on.
Yeah.
And this time, it was like sleeping on a cloud. I mean, that bed
Got
was
a proper
comfy.
bed.
Got a proper
Nice.
bed that slept all the
About
way
time.
through, didn't wake up.
How much you want to bet that was Tara
Right.
saying you got to get a proper bed?
No, it was already there, I think. I think it was already there.
I bought the bed.
All right.
I bought
Okay,
that months
fair enough.
ago. That bed. That's a guest
My,
room for
It's a
guests.
guest room. And can I just say,
Well, what did you have before?
it was a big room. I was in a big,
Big
bedroom.
room.
It's a big room. And Chinny's got a big ass garden.
I do.
That is a
Okay.
big ass
Or a
garden.
big ass garden where he grows asses.
Yeah.
He's got a big ass as well, to be
Yeah.
fair. No, he hasn't.
I don't.
Um,
I,
That's
don't, I
you put it
really
in the
don't.
garden.
I don't know what I sit on most of the time. It's so small.
I
Have a
know,
vague
I know.
butt?
He's got his own portable cushion. Yeah, and obviously shout out to the very cute Rosa.
Yeah.
Yay.
Very cute for sitting and having a breakfast with me 2 days on the trot.
She loves it.
Yay.
And she just smiles
She
all
loves
the time.
hanging out with Stu, or she enjoys breakfast?
I mean,
I
bit
think
of
it's,
both.
I think it's more than
Bit of both.
breakfast, to be honest.
Nah,
okay.
I think she
No, but
likes
she
it.
enjoys. She enjoys. We did a race for life for cancer today.
Nice.
And she's never any trouble. Like, I honestly feel like
Yeah.
I could have brought her to London, and she would have been fine.
Yeah, she would have been.
She would have
would
been
have been
fine.
fine.
She would have been fine. She would have gone on the underground. She would have just stared at everybody. She would have smiled. She was great. Yeah, she's really good with
Very
crowds,
content
and
is the word.
she's very happy, and yeah, she's always very.
It doesn't
very-
surprise me at all. The both of you are very chill people, and I think that kids often transmit their parents
on the outside. I think on the outside I
attitude.
appear chill, but I don't know.
Well,
Inside,
I mean, she's absorbing that then.
Yep,
And
she's
if there's
very
inner
chill.
rage and
Very
hatred
chill.
and
Yeah.
fury simmering inside of you, it'll get transmitted to her soon enough. Don't worry.
that'll get there.
As soon as you start saying like, I really would rather you didn't buy a gaming PC, Rosa. She'll be
I
like,
think-
oh, you're gonna tell me how to play my fucking video
Yeah,
games, huh,
me-
Dad? Well,
me and
fuck
Pilch-
you. I'm buying a VR headset.
Me and Pilch were talking about, like, he wished he never introduced his kids to video games, and I'm like, yeah, I can see the appeal, to be honest, because
Yeah.
you know, I might just
What's kind of
pretend, like-
interesting, I tried to get Millie to play video games. She was like, I'm not having any of that shit. I'll do my own thing. Fuck off.
Yeah. I
She didn't
feel-
actually say that.
And you
can I
didn't
say?
keep at it, so therefore she doesn't hate you.
No,
feel-
she's
If you'd
not.
been a good gaming dad.
Yeah.
If I just pretend that there's nothing more than the Super Nintendo, and just go, this is the only gaming console that ever existed.
No, you got to get her with reverse psychology. You got to be like, I forbid you to play video games, and then she'll be like, all right, here, let's
No,
get
I
this
don't,
going,
I don't,
Mario.
I don't know if I want her to play video games, to be honest.
She's gonna
I'm
be better than you,
skeptical.
is why.
Yeah. No, I don't know.
You
It's
kick
just,
your ass in Mario Kart, and you'll be like, oh, damn it.
It's just.
Now I got to go back and play snooker if I want to be good at
I
something.
want her to sort of just pick something that she just naturally draws to, you know? Like, she just wants
You're not
to
good
do.
at snooker either, Dad. I won an award. Look at this.
Yeah, I got 2 now. Got 2 awards.
Then why did I beat you last week, Dad?
Yeah.
This is in the future when
Go on,
she gets
Stu.
really good at it.
Carry on. What are your shout outs? Go on.
And obviously shout out everybody who came to the meetup. So everyone who sort of said hello in London. I said the same. I didn't meet up with us. It was because Fraser was here, so we just tagged along.
We
really.
tagged along. Yeah.
Just tagged along. And Neil,
Fraser.
can I say, Neil, who was at the meetup, said she would have been scarred for life had she come to London.
No, she'd have loved it. She'd have loved it.
Scarred for life.
Honestly,
So
she'd
there
have
you
loved
go.
And now the next question for Fraser is, when is he going to make the 2-hour trip down to Wisconsin? Come on, dude, you're right nearby. I could also go up to where you are, but
Yes,
I'm
you
lazy.
could. Is it really only 2 hours?
No, it's longer than that.
No,
Oh,
it's
gotta
just-
say.
you've got to go
I'm an
round.
American.
There's a big
Yeah,
fucking.
you gotta go around the Great Lakes.
Yeah, the Great Lake. Yeah.
Yep.
So.
Just
They're
go
great.
across it. There must be
They're
is it not a ferry? There must be a ferry.
Hell no,
across.
we don't have ferries in this country. Jesus.
What is
we
wrong
don't have
with you?
trains, we don't have ferries, we don't have socialized medicine. We suck when it comes to infrastructure. We're terrible.
Anyway, right, okay,
We
over
know.
to you, Chini.
We know. Obviously,
Party
shout out to everybody that we met this weekend. Shout out to Joe Johnson.
Yeah, nice guy.
Shout out to
He's-
Joe
I'm
Johnson.
sure
he
he's
turned pro in
listening. I'm sure he's
1979.
Big fan of the show. Snooker World Champion 1986.
Yeah.
Joe Johnson.
Joe
Met him.
Johnson.
Tick him off the
Went
list.
pro in 1979.
Yeah. Well, I suppose that's it. Really, it's just a shout out to all the lads.
All the lads.
And I think we're gonna try and do something
Lads.
every year, maybe.
Yeah, we need to.
Ooh,
and
that'd be cool.
Fraser comes over every year, pretty much, he said. So,
Right, yeah.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Well, his mom and
Sorry
dad are
about
still
that.
here,
Okay.
so yeah.
Oh, right. That makes sense.
Yeah. So there you
Cool.
are. Yes. Cool.
Yeah.
Coolio, Duke, over to you for the final
Yeah.
shout-outs
I'd
this
like to give a shout out to everybody who's come to a meetup near me recently. So that was
Is that it?
fast.
Is that it?
That was all of them.
Because nobody's come to any meetups. Yeah.
Oh, no.
No, shout out to the Duchess because she rocks. Shout out to everybody who went to the meetup because it looked like fun and I could vicariously experience it. Shout out to everybody joining us here in the chat today. Matthew Bassett and Fraser and Real Kahuna and is that
Viva
it?
La Pedros. Viva La Pedros, people.
Viva La Pedros on Twitch. That's
Viva La
right. Thank you. And shout out to
Pedros.
SLH. SLH was very kind, giving feedback about the song. And I really enjoyed chatting with her. And Jacinta sent me an email with the cat name. And I can't reveal it because it's secret. It's
And
probably not that
Tainted
secret,
Brain.
but-
Don't forget Tainted Brain.
And Tainted Brain, yeah, showing love. And Jason Gallagher every week
Jason
sending us fun
Gallagher.
emails. Yeah, and everybody who's a part of this, if you've been listening on podcast or something, really send us a quick email or a speak pipe. It's so good to hear from y'all.
Yeah, it is.
Whether you've been listening to for
And-
1 week or for 10 years, we love you, and
And
you're
we
the
don't
reason
say
do
this enough.
And
We don't say this enough, but we appreciate everybody who's like a long-term listener. If you've been listening over 10 years or whatever.
Yeah.
We appreciate.
totally.
We give love to everyone who listens to this
yes,
show.
we totally do. And I don't say this enough, but about you. So, no, that's a joke. We do care about you. I was talking to, who was I talking to recently? I was telling somebody about the summer, well, my plans for the summer. And I was like, I'm going to be working on this book and I'm going to be writing this. I'm doing that, trying to get this done. And then I was like, and I do this video game podcast every week. And she was like, okay. And she knows she's curious about it. And I was just like, talking about it. I'm like, they're having a meetup this weekend. And then I showed her the video of us meeting in 2018. And like, it just reminded me how lucky I am to be part of this community. And so thank you all for being a part of this community and making, we do this show because we like to have fun talking shit. But the fact that it actually, helps people not have such a bad day at work or, whatever, just have some fun when they're washing the dishes or what have you. We're glad to provide that service and we appreciate the love we get in response. I don't care. Are we done?
Yep.
All right, show's over. No refunds. You heard the robot. Get out.
I can only take so much of some actual emotion. Rolling my eyes at myself.
Just moronic commentary and stupid sound effects, and it's just dumb. It doesn't make any sense.
I don't know about you, Stu, but I'm tired.
I am very tired.
Well, before y'all leave, I got to ask you a question.
Oh,
did you notice? Sorry,
Go on,
I have
no,
to
it's
know.
fine.
Did
It's
you
fine,
notice
it's fine.
on the "Start It Up" song that I used the sound, Stu, of you before every chorus?
Yeah, but
do you know?
It's so quiet.
I
but
did
if you listen
notice-
carefully,
I
people didn't notice
did.
that.
I did notice something, and
It's
I was
there.
like, "What is that? What is that?" And I heard it.
It's you.
Well, couldn't work out what it was because it was quite quiet in volume. But I did hear something. I remember thinking.
I was just
there's
listening
something
to. I
said,
played
yeah,
it for the students.
yeah.
I asked the students, "Do you want to hear a song about Wall Street? Do the Martin Skrilla song or the video game one?" And they all chose video games. So I was like, all right. And I was listening to it. I'm like, I wonder if Stu caught that because it's
No,
subtle.
I did
unlike
hear,
most things I do.
because I've only heard it the once. But I
Right.
did when you
What, you
played
didn't
it.
listen to it 20 times afterwards?
No, I've not listened to it 20 times.
I'm just kidding.
But
it's
I
not on
did. I
Spotify
do
yet.
remember hearing something. I'm thinking, what is that noise at the beginning of every verse
Yeah.
that he does? So yeah, no, I did hear it, but I had no idea that's what it was. So
Yeah.
but yeah, cool though.
Well, there it is.
Yeah, it was very cool.
Little
Very
trivia
cool.
for people. Thank you. All right, we done?
I think we're
Yeah,
done.
I need to go to bed.
Have a good night. I hope
Yeah,
y'all
I
get
need
some
to go to
rest.
bed. Yeah, we need some.
Yeah,
don't we?
good luck
Ginny's
with
got
your stuff.
Ginny's got busy 2 days. Where is it that you going? Ginny,
Warwick.
the next
I'm going to
Warwick. I
Warwick,
thought it was
yeah.
Warwick for the next 2 days. So
Sorry.
well, have fun with that, and I'm
Good
gonna go
luck.
to bed.
I'm gonna have a week
I'm
doing
gonna go to
nothing.
bed
First
and-
week after school's ending, I tell everybody, fuck off. I ain't doing shit all week. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not meeting up for anything. I'm not taking care of anything. I'm not looking at emails. I'm doing one thing, two things, jacking shit.
Oh,
That's it. That's all
I was
I'm doing
I was
all
gonna
week.
come over this week, Duke, as well. Flipping
You
out.
could come over, but I ain't gonna do anything special. You can watch me play Rocket League or something.
Fraser says he wants to get to. Fraser says he wants to get to Madison.
He does want to go to Medicine, yeah, and I shouldn't make him come this way. I should go to him, but not this week. I'm not.
Why don't you
I'm
meet in
probably
the
not this
middle
summer,
somewhere? What about somewhere
but-
in
We could
the
be
middle?
in the middle
could
somewhere.
be
Let's
in
figure out where is No, that's south of me. Come on. We should find a spot that's like right in between, like they did
Yeah.
on 30 Rock, and then just meet there. It'll be
Yeah.
a logging camp in the middle of the Canadian wilderness, and there will be like child laborers cutting down trees and drinking
Do you
whiskey.
know what?
Like,
You know what? I think Fraser would love that. He'd be there with a giant chainsaw, like, "Hey, Lord, I brought."
there you go.
This is gonna be good. No, his angle grinder. That's his favorite tool. Apparently, he'd be there with his angle grinder.
Angle grinding?
Oh, he loves angle grinding.
Oh, he does love an angle.
Oh,
Is
he
this
loves
for
a bit
like
of that.
cement? Like you
No,
grind?
do you not know what an angle grinder is, dude?
No, I don't know. That's why I asked. What's an angle grinder?
It's like a power tool with a very small disc on for cutting metal. So you cut metal with
Okay.
it.
So you
yeah,
grind the angle with the metal. Okay.
Yeah, so you can cut metal sheets, or you can cut like bolts off, or screws, or
Gotcha.
nails,
Gotcha.
or
Gotcha.
anything
Okay.
made of metal.
Good to
You
know.
can pipe. You can cut.
Well, I don't
pipe,
do a
like
lot of cutting of
copper
metal,
pipe.
so it's good to know, but it's really not going to come up. in my life
Have you never
much.
seen? There's some of these like weird acts on Britain's Got Talent or America's Got Talent, or whatever.
I've never seen any of those
They get
shows.
an angle grinder on a metal chest plate and make all these massive sparks and stuff. So they do
While
that.
they're wearing it.
Yeah, while they're wearing it. Yeah. So they
That's
angle grind
idiotic.
themselves.
Something very easily could go wrong and slice your
Absolutely,
jugular. That's the
why they
dumbest
do it.
thing I've
That's
ever
why
heard.
they do it, because it's dangerous.
Oh God.
So yeah,
Well,
they
you
do
know, I
that.
thought it was about people having talent, not risking their lives.
That's part of the fun.
That's a
I
talent.
never watched.
Look,
I
I'm
never
gonna
watched that.
shoot near my head and hope I don't die. Look at my talent. Oh, I'm so talented.
That's a thing. People have done that.
I'm sure it is a thing. It's ridiculous.
The halfway point
come
between
on.
you and Fraser is Lansing.
Lansing.
Is
there
that
you go.
true? Lansing, Michigan?
Yeah.
How do you know?
Just did it.
He's just looked, hasn't he?
looked.
He's Google. Do you know this thing called Google, Duke?
Yeah, just look.
Yeah, but you just type in halfway point.
Well, like I'm just estimating. I'm
Where
looking
is
at
he? Is he in Toronto?
Toronto, near enough. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not actually in Madison, but whatever. Midland, Michigan, it says right here, according to travelmath.com.
Well,
But anyway, it's in Michigan.
Yeah, I think Lansing has got a little
Okay.
bit more going on than Midland.
Yeah, just
Oh, yeah,
pick somewhere where
definitely.
there actually is something
the-
rather than just in the middle of
Right.
the wilderness.
Well, that's what I said. The fucking logging camp is Windsor, whatever I just said. So yeah, we would need to go to Lansing.
Go to Lansing.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe we will. I don't know. I'd have to look at how long it is. How is it? How long is it to get here from Madison to
Oh, here we go.
Lansing?
Now we're doing Google Maps.
Yeah, because it'll make it a lot more.
5.5 hours.
5
Oh,
hours.
that's not too bad.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
For
That's not too
America.
bad.
Maybe.
For America. That's not too bad.
For America,
That's not too bad.
yeah.
It
that's
takes
not
you
too
9 hours
Fraser,
to get
what's...
to, 9 hours to get to Toronto.
Yeah, so
I'm
that's
not
about-
driving 9
it's
hours
about
to
the
see
middle.
Fraser. I love you, Fraser, but I
No,
ain't
no,
doing
I'm saying that's
9-hour
about
road
the middle,
trip.
isn't it? 4.5 hours, whatever.
But no, 5, yeah. Right.
5 hours.
To Lansing would be...
Or just
Yeah.
get a
It's-
fucking
oh, man.
plane to Toronto.
There is that. There is that.
Yeah, I could. It's just so much more. I don't know. It feels like more of an undertaking. Take
Yeah,
a
it's
plane
probably-
trip.
it's
Because then why
probably-
not go see my mom in Florida? You know what I mean? Like if I'm gonna go on a plane trip, like it just feels
Yeah,
wrong.
but
I'll
to-
tell you
Well,
why,
that's
because
not
your
as-
mum is not Fraser.
That's right. You've seen your
Sure,
mum before.
that's so far as
you
you
know
know.
what? You know what your mum looks like in real life.
Plot twist. Fraser is my mom.
I got
Yeah.
to touch Fraser yesterday.
I did. I hugged him and everything.
You know. So,
Uh-huh.
anyway,
Maybe he's sick of being around people, and he's like,
Yeah,
"Don't
yeah.
get a plane trip here. I'm not trying to host."
right, I'm going to bed.
I'm going to bed.
Yes,
yeah, too.
I'm gonna leave too. I'm not going to bed. I'm gonna play video games.
Yeah, I bet you are.
Old
Enjoy
fogies,
yourself.
you go to bed.
We're going
Yeah,
to
I
bed.
will. It's gonna be a week of doing nothing. Have a
Alright.
good week, y'all. Good
Have a
luck with
good
your
week.
travels and your work, and I'll talk to
See
you later.
next week. Bye.